Hey! Good morning. Hello.
We were looking around. We couldn't find
You
Ray.
were here.
But he made it for the hay.
You were here for...
I was pouring water, and I heard the guitar riff come on, and I was like, time to run, fat boy.
Yeah, you were here for our pre-show banter, then you left.
And you sound really...
I had no water.
You
Never
sound really
run to
good.
a microphone.
I was just going to say that, because Jeff Burton used to repeat the Jack Buck rule of never run to a microphone.
Never run to a microphone.
Because you sound like...
Like you just ran to a microphone.
Yeah, but you don't.
No, you did good.
Well done.
That's good. Somebody's been doing
On
their
the treadmill,
calisthenics.
baby. Been on that cardio.
Calisthenics, my friend. That's what that's good for. How's everybody feeling? Great?
Yeah, really
Happy
good.
Halloweeny?
I'm not feeling great, to be honest.
Well, listen, the
I'm
tornado
exhausted.
alarms went off last night around
2
I looked
o'clock.
at the clock, it was 2 o'clock. Tornado sirens.
Really?
Oh, yeah, blaring. Oh, yeah. Out by me, out by Moon.
Yeah, our sirens, our phones did the... the...
My phone never did the...
Oh, our
My
security...
phone never did the alarm.
Our security system did. Both of our phones did. And the sirens all went off within 5 seconds of each other.
No, I just heard the outside alarms. And my wife goes, are those the alarms? I go, yeah, those are the alarms. Go back to bed.
But you didn't turn... Oh, you did? You just went back to bed?
No, I picked up my phone. I looked up, like, all right, is this a serious one? You know, now they could pinpoint those things down to neighborhoods.
Yeah, and that's what they were doing on the news. But you would watch them, and they would even say... And this one dude kept talking over the other. It was kind of obnoxious. But they were talking and saying, like, hey, listen, this isn't some big, giant tornado kind of thing. This is just, like, some crazy gusts about 40, 50 miles an hour that could spin into a tornado. We haven't seen one yet, but the Doppler is saying that this is, like, possible in these
didn't
neighborhoods.
get everybody up. I did not awake the house.
We got up. We went downstairs.
Oh, you got everybody up?
Everybody that was in the house, yeah.
15 people downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
We took the whole bus
Let's
down.
go. What about in the city? Alarms in the city?
Either
Overland.
didn't happen or so used to it.
Yeah.
Overland checking in?
I did not hear a single thing. And
Nothing? Okay.
Yeah, so we're safe. We slept through it. If
Tower
we had
Grove
one.
checking in?
Tower Grove was business as usual. Sirens all night. I don't discern them apart anymore.
Sirens all night, nothing tornado related.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, I didn't hear anything. I didn't sleep worth a damn, but I didn't hear any sirens.
That would have been fun. I didn't
Well-
know it got that serious anywhere.
That wasn't fun.
Yeah. Sirens are
That
neat.
wasn't
It
fun.
was not fun. Although I did the dad thing on the way down.
Did you go outside?
Of course, the very first thing I did is I opened the door and I looked. I'm like, oh, wow.
No, I don't see anything. It's pitch black.
That's
Oh,
fine.
yeah, look at that. It was not moving at all. No wind, no nothing. Then within 10 minutes, all of a sudden, we heard like whistling. Like the wind was like kicking across the gutters and doing different things and making weird sounds. So then I looked out the back and it looked like cartoon trees. They were doing the old, like, you know, the super old Halloween movies? Yeah, they would go...
Yeah, swaying.
Yeah, it was kind of cool looking, and it happened for about maybe 12 minutes, and then it was over.
Well, they said, it should be dry for trick-or-treating time, so be all right. We got a little rain today.
Yeah, the rain will push out by the morning.
By the time, 6 o'clock rolls around, when you should be out trick-or-treating, 6 o'clock, 6 to 9. That's it. That's your window. 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and that's it. Shut it down. You should be dry. Everything should be all right.
You doing a fire pit? You doing the driveway?
No, I don't know if I'm even going to be outside.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Riz, come over to our place, man.
No, thanks.
Okay.
I know you're having a big, your family's going to be there. I'm not driving out to where
It's
you
not.
live.
Yeah, it's not that far. First of all,
It's far enough.
How many rivers you got to cross? Just one,
It's
right?
one.
one
Yeah.
small.
It's
river.
one, but I'm not. Listen, my kids are going to be doing their own thing. I have an opportunity to not do much.
I'm not going to require you to do anything at our place.
Getting in the car and driving somewhere.
That's a whole thing.
That's a whole thing.
Well, you're missing out.
I may just put the bucket of candy out and put a note and say take one.
Wow.
Don't even
I may
think
even
about
go, I
touching
may
the
even
river.
go that style. I don't know. I'm gonna be a Grinch.
Well, you're really phoning
That's not a
it in.
Grinch.
I'm gonna be a Grinch this Halloween.
You're still giving them something. That's nice.
I feel like I've lost all my Halloween spirit.
Really? You don't strike me as a phone it in this quickly kind of guy. What are you, 45?
I'm 46.
46. That explains
The past
it.
couple years, I felt like I've gone pretty gung-ho on things, and there was no reciprocation. So,
Whoa, we don't do things for the reciprocation as grown men here, man.
Yeah, I think we do.
No.
Yeah, there was the one year I pulled out the fire pit to the front of the house and sat there in a chair, had music going. Nobody cared. Last year I was running around the neighborhood in my white rabbit costume. Nobody cared.
You also have said that your neighborhood in particular is in transition.
We are in a transition period, yes. 8 years ago when we first moved in, there were a lot of young kids.
Population is dwindling.
Yeah, and now, the 7-year-olds from then are now 15 years old, and they're now being picked up by their 16-year-old friends and being driven to other places.
So your house is your neighborhood is about 15 years, 17 years older than ours. So ours is the reverse. When we moved in 2017, it was only old folks with their kids grown. So there were no kids, which was crazy because the house that we were in before, and King Scott was living with us at the time, that neighborhood was like freaking E.T., dude. You know the scene in E.T. where it's just like
that's the way it
hundreds of
was.
kids everywhere?
That's the way it was when we first moved in.
And we're getting back there. So now, our neighborhood was early 80s. So now everybody's like dying off or selling it to younger families, and finally like some kids are coming in.
We had the first couple years. One of the dads had a big truck, and we had
that's
a
right.
hay rides.
You did hay rides.
We did, Rafe. We did hay rides.
I know
in
you-
our neighborhood.
You've fallen far, my man.
Hay rides.
Maybe we'll have hay rides at our
there
place.
were like 30 kids, 40 kids on this hay ride.
Do you want to save Halloween? We can get some farmers to come out to your neighborhood and
even then, I was making fun of the kids, going, "You're not walking for your stuff.
Yeah,
You're hopping on the hay ride."
it's kind of cool. You know what?
I'm missing it.
We got a neighbor down the street that's always parking his giant flatbed trailer in front of everybody's houses. So maybe we could just use that.
that'd be perfect.
I was walking the dog with my wife, and I said, "Man, it's crazy. There's no little kids anymore on the block." And she goes, "No, there are little kids. You just don't hang out with the people that have them."
But you said you sat out last year to give out candy. Nobody came by.
Minimal. Nothing. There was like nobody past 8 o'clock. That was it.
Well, we're stoked.
Last year was the Cheddar Bay year. Last year was the year that a lot of the neighbors got together. Everybody brought chili. I brought the Cheddar Bays. That was last Halloween.
So you have a lot of firefighters.
The Cheddar Bay biscuits.
That sounds awesome. Why wouldn't you want to do that again? We're doing chili tonight.
Nah,
We're doing chili and a movie.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying home. Again, I may even just put the candy bucket out and just hang on the couch. I may watch Thursday Night Football, and that's it, and call it a night.
I like it, though.
I got the projector out. We have like a small, I would say on the cheaper side of projectors, but it still looks really cool. It just doesn't have any fanciness, There's no focus or any of that kind of stuff. It's like a distance thing.
Yeah.
If I wanted the screen bigger, I got to back up. But we got this thing, and I needed to update it and make sure that it works because I've had people over to watch it and not work. And I updated it. And the only thing that's on there without plugging an Apple TV into it is YouTube. And it says, check out these YouTube Halloween movies. Like the very first screen after it updated itself. And what was the first movie on there? Ernest Scared Stupid.
No way.
Who
So
knew?
is that what you're going to play?
No, I wanted to, and I started playing it just to watch it. First of all, I forgot all about that movie. Watched it for a little bit, and I texted the family and let everybody vote. 0 votes.
Yeah.
Well, they've never seen it.
Yeah, I don't know,
Kids
man.
wouldn't know.
Well, but I
Ernest-
think Rafe said it right yesterday when he was like, "Well, you're not playing it for your kids because they're leaving the house to go trick or treat.
Nobody's
playing
going
it-
to watch the movie.
You're playing it for the kids that are coming up, so it should be animated."
Nobody's going to sit and watch the movie. It's just, there's going to be a lot of activity.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be
You're just
playing.
going to be walking by.
It's just supposed to be playing, and I think that's why Rafe's idea of animated is the way to go.
Yeah, like the Charlie Brown.
Yeah, you said do Hotel Transylvania or something like that.
It'd be a good one.
Yeah, kids are just going to be walking. But nobody's going to stop and watch.
No, it's just.
I
neat.
thought he was going to be paying attention
I'm
to
going
it.
to be watching.
Maximum Overdrive.
The movie?
Yeah.
Terminal Velocity with Wesley Snipes.
Maximum Overdrive was that soundtrack ripped, dude. It was all AC/DC.
I don't know if I remember that movie.
It's like
It's
all the
so
machines
rad.
come alive. There's Emilio Estevez. There's like it's almost like a early
like
predecessor of like AI sentience, where
Is it like early 90s?
late 80s, and it was like one of the trucks was like an 18-wheeler that had the devil on the front, and they're all
I don't know if I know that movie.
they're all stuck in a diner. It's like Emilio
truck
Estevez. The
stop.
soda machine starts like shooting sodas, and it shoots through some guy's forehead. Like all the machines become possessed.
What?
It's trying to kill us. Lawnmowers are attacking people.
You never saw this?
Sorry,
It's a
no.
Stephen King. It was like
Yeah.
a Stephen.
No, no,
It's
it was
awesome.
a huge flop.
Sounds great.
It was one of those when I was a kid. If it was on TV, I had to
Yeah.
watch it every single time. It was
My
always
bad.
on. Was it TNT or
Terminal
something?
Velocity has his brother, Charlie
Oh,
Sheen.
Charlie
in it.
Sheen.
1986 American horror film written and directed by Stephen King. Oh, he directed it too.
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maximum Overdrive.
Pat Hingle. What a name.
Huh. Yeah,
Whoa,
maybe play that.
This looks awesome.
Dude, it's so good.
This was right around the time of like Howard the Duck. They were doing a lot of things with
A lot of weird
semi
stuff.
trucks.
Yeah. This is like Christine on steroids. Instead of one evil car, it was a fleet of evil.
All the evil cars.
I did not know
Maximum
Stephen
Overdrive.
King was directing movies.
I think that was his first foray into directing, and it did not go well. But
No.
it wasn't all AC/DC soundtrack.
Let me see if I'll get some audio on this.
The dick is going on.
Evil was directing movies.
I think that was his first.
Who was driving?
Oh, you got the
I turned it off.
YouTube on the back.
It's coming after us!
Oh yeah, look at that lawnmower man.
Lawnmower comes alive.
Is that Martin?
War. You got one.
Is that Martin Short?
I just want to get the hell out of here.
Emilio Estevez blowing stuff up. Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's something to check out.
It's a really fun one.
I think they
Where's
used,
the devil one?
I think they used the
there
same.
it is. Look at that thing, dude.
Oh yeah,
that's-
look at
isn't
that.
that the cover?
It's the Green Goblin. Happy Toys.
I think they used the
big
same.
Mack truck.
Yeah, it's like a big Mack truck that's possessed by
Maximum
the devil.
Overdrive.
They
Put
used
that
the
in
same.
queue.
They used the same diner as what's the one with the little aliens that come down and like pretend they're burgers and not Short Circuit, but it was around that same time.
Batteries not included.
Batteries not included. Yeah, man. What
Starring Jessica Tandy and Hume Cronin.
a my gosh.
Hume Cronin.
In this room, we are IMDb. Like all.
We got everything
our
covered.
I
powers
challenge you
together.
to find another morning show making a Hume Cronin reference.
Yeah, our powers together, we are Captain IMDb.
Yeah, we got everything covered. All the bases. Anyway, you ever have somebody say something to you and there's it's like a fuse, like a slow fuse, and it takes a little while for it to get to you?
Yeah.
So
Say-
the other
say
day,
what?
I was out and Prince's Purple Rain came on. I forget where we were, but I started singing Purple Rain,
You're at the age where you don't care what's happening around you anymore.
and somebody goes, and somebody I know, oh, we were at the ice rink, and it was between games, and Purple Rain came on, and I started going, Purple Rain, Purple Rain. Now, it wasn't making a scene. Then it was loud enough to, I got
Yeah.
into it.
Just impressive.
And somebody goes, don't quit your day job.
Oh.
I can't.
And I took the wind out of my sails a little bit, to be honest with you. But I thought about it, and it took like a day or two to hit.
That's when you go, thank you, motivational speaker
Wait,
Bob.
don't quit my day job. And I'm thinking, what is my day job? To act like an idiot. And that's what I was doing. I was acting like an idiot.
Oh, that's where the anger comes from?
I don't know if I was angry about it.
They didn't recognize that was your day job?
Maybe.
I thought you were mad that it was like hacky. It's like a hacky thing to say to someone.
Yeah, it is a hacky thing to say.
Yeah.
But also the don't quit your day job. You go, well, what is my day job? What's your day job?
Right?
My day job is to act like a moron. And that's what I was doing. I was doing, next time somebody says that, I'm doing it.
No, go straight into Russell Crowe. Are you not
I'm
entertained?
doing my day job.
Are you not entertained?
And it was, that's a passive aggressive phrase, don't you think? Don't
Yes,
quit your
yes.
day job.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
that's
sure.
maybe the definition of a passive aggressive phrase.
Huh. What? Yeah. I think it depends also on how it's said to you. Because if it's someone just knowing that it's a cheesy joke and they're trying to do that, that's one thing. But this guy was serious.
Don't quit your day job.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I'm sure he was joking.
He was joking
But
around.
it's still just like a hack.
Yeah.
Right.
Hack response.
And it takes the fun out. It's like, I'm just being silly. Now you're.
And again,
doing that.
I overreact. to
Working
everything.
hard or hardly working?
Listen, I overreact
One of
to
those,
everything.
you know.
I have a tendency to do that. And
I just don't understand why it took time to hit. It was pretty on the nose.
No, but it made me think of what my day job is.
Oh, so then your offense came from them not actually recognizing
Recognizing.
how good you are at your day job.
Right.
That you're willing to do it
Right.
for free at night.
Off hours. For free.
Okay. Now, okay.
Yeah. that
Now
makes
I'm
a little more
understanding
sense.
how. I'm like,
You
why
got a
was
little
this
taste.
used so long?
You got a little taste.
Off duty.
Something up there.
Off duty entertainer.
No,
Still
you got a little
entertaining.
taste.
I got a little peek in Herman's head, and I don't
Right.
like it. I don't want to be
Right.
up there.
No, it just got me these passive aggressive phrases that we overuse.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to not have these phrases come out of my mouth ever. Like good for you. I think good for you is a pretty passive aggressive phrase that we should stop using. Like it's passive aggressive if there's secretly resentment or envy behind it. Good for you. Or I'm sorry you feel that way. People use it as a non-apology. Like, I'm not sorry for what I did, but I'm trying to sound like I am. Instead of taking responsibility, you're placing the blame on the other person's feelings. Okay, so we got to stop using that. Or when somebody says, it's fine. I use that too much.
Yeah, that's a Scott Daniel Rizzuto
I know.
Hallmark card.
I got to stop. Especially when it's not fine, obviously. It's me trying to avoid confrontation. When I should really start telling you how I feel. It's fine.
It's all right.
Or when somebody says, whatever. Whatever, man.
Whatever, man.
Whatever.
I mean, you might use it when you're throwing in the towel, like, I don't really want to watch that movie, but whatever. Either get on board for real or stick to your guns. Or if somebody says, if you say so, it's dismissive. It implies you don't really believe what they're saying, but you're also shutting down the conversation. Or when somebody says you're just too sensitive, that'll set me off.
That's always a nice one.
That'll set me off. But stick to your day job
Yeah.
got to me.
That's hilarious.
Because this is my day job, you jerk. Okay? Our buddy Tanya Haddock's in the news.
Oh, no.
Our friend who was on the air on Tuesday with us, Chimp Crazy Lady, Tanya Haddock's article in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch today. Headline: Missouri woman disobeyed court order in Chimp Crazy series, PETA says. I don't know if you read this morning.
I did not.
But the former caretaker of movie star chimpanzees Tonka allowed a crew to film her disobeying a court order by saying she sedated the animal and pretended he was dead in a new documentary called Chimp Crazy, animal rights lawyers allege Wednesday. This is not new, though. I don't understand why this is just making the news now.
What is it saying? She disobeyed a court order and did what?
The first line of the Post-Dispatch article says, this is from STL Today, the former caretaker of movie star chimpanzee Tonka allowed a crew to film her disobeying a court order by saying she'd sedated the animal and pretended he was dead in a new documentary called Chimp Crazy, animal rights lawyers alleged Wednesday.
What?
Are they just getting around to this now?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what court did she. Is it because she talked about it, or that it?
I don't know if this has anything to do with us.
It did happen the same day.
Well, it happened the next day.
Oh, the next day.
She was on with us Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, I'm all thrown off.
So Tanya Haddock, who dubbed herself the Dolly Parton of chimps, said in the show that she sedated Tonka and hid him at a Holiday Inn instead of turning him over to the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, as ordered by the court, according to a legal filing.
And the legal filing mentions the documentary, not
It doesn't mention the show.
right.
It doesn't mention our show. I wonder if
That's
it just took
crazy.
this long to get this into the court.
Yes, we shall chalk this up to coincidence.
I think this is just coincidental timing.
Yeah.
they've been busy printing pamphlets and stuff.
So Haddock's in the episode, the third episode of the series, in the court filing says, I opted to go against a court order. Tonka was literally on the run with me. Chimp Crazy appears on HBO, has garnered more than 2.3 million views. In light of the new evidence, PETA says Haddock's and the alleged accomplices should be required to show they didn't violate previous court orders. The Haddock's legal saga dates back to 2016 when PETA sued her and claimed Tonka who appeared alongside actor Alan Cumming in the 1997 movie Buddy, and other chimps at the now-defunct Missouri Primate Foundation near Festus were improperly cared for. In 2020, Haddock signed a consent decree agreeing to send 4 of the chimps to a sanctuary in Florida. The order allowed her to keep 3 chimps, including Tonka. But Haddock failed to comply with the conditions, PETA said. A year later, sheriff's deputies and the U.S. Marshals removed the remaining chimps. Haddock claimed at the time that Tonka was no longer there because he had died of congestive heart failure, and her husband signed an affidavit saying he cremated the body. Tonka eventually was taken to the Save the Chimp Sanctuary in Florida, and a federal judge ordered Haddock to pay $224,404 in attorney's fees to PETA. I guess maybe they just got around to filing this now, is what my guess is. This week, PETA argued Haddock and her husband and a friend who kept Tonka at one point at an Ohio animal sanctuary all admitted to violating court orders in the documentary. She also pretty much did that here, too.
Denied
Right?
it.
You think so?
Is that what she did here? I asked her about it.
Which part?
Well, she didn't go. She said she couldn't talk about certain things, but she kind of mentioned.
What, lying to the judge? I mean, in the documentary, it shows her talking to the judge.
Yeah, because you talked about the edit, the direct edit of she's talking to the judge, she closes the computer, and she walks downstairs.
Yeah.
And there's the chimp.
To which she, disputed that that's not how it happened. That's
Sure.
just how the edit was, which we understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. Interesting timing. The whole thing is fascinating. That's why
Yeah.
that's why it was interesting to have her on. And I think it's always fair to give somebody an opportunity to explain themselves or tell their side of the stories, so to speak, especially when their story is only being told by an edit or an editor that she has no say with or no say in. So that's only fair.
Yeah, I mean, she
To give
said there was
somebody the
hundreds of
opportunity.
hours of footage, and only 4 of it were shown. Yeah, you get an hour a piece for the for every episode.
But we asked real questions.
Yeah, we actually got a letter from PETA
Yeah.
yesterday. PETA reached out to us, and yeah, they were pretty complimentary. Actually, it was very nice.
Wow.
I said, we caught your interview with Tanya Addicts about chimp crazy and wanted to thank you for asking so many thoughtful questions about the danger and cruelty inherent in keeping intelligent, complex chimpanzees as pets. And they gave an update on Tonka, who's over at the
Save the Chimp Sanctuary.
Save the Chimp Sanctuary.
They sent some photos.
Does Tonka look happy? I didn't see the photos.
Let's look. Let's see if Otanka looks happy or not. I'd like to see some vid.
Because even Tanya was like,
TBH.
I mean, I was surprised and really interested in hearing her take and saying that she's fine with legislation in PETA and on PETA's side with passing legislation to not have people.
to not have people to have these things as pets. But her argument was, hey, this thing was raised.
That's an interesting argument, but I do like that she was willing to say, yeah, in the future.
Yeah, and she was the first one that said that. I mean,
Yeah.
she came straight out and said, yeah, I'm on the side. I totally get it with this, just not with the ones that have already
The ones that have already
played
been
PlayStation.
Yeah, the ones that have already been raised in
Right.
in an environment that's not
Natural.
natural. Yeah,
Which is an interesting argument that should be heard.
considered for sure.
Right. Explored.
I think Rafe brought it up like, hey, if you have an indoor dog for 10 years and you put the dog outside and you say all of a sudden you're an outside dog,
Yeah, it's probably not going to,
it's not going to end well for the dog.
Here's video, by the way.
even if it is a,
There's a 2-minute video on the website of Tonka hanging with
Hanging with the other chimps.
other chimps out on this grassy plain island. It shows him just kind of chilling. He's walking around. No PlayStation.
Well, interesting timing on this lawsuit. I think it's just coincidental.
Yeah, I would imagine. Because that doesn't seem like something easy to get done that quickly.
No, again, this documentary was over the summer, so and it's being filed now. So there we go. Hey, if you missed Tanya Haddock's on the show, Just go back to Tuesday's podcast. It was a very fascinating
Yeah.
Interesting. One of the chimps.
45-minute talk.
One of the chimps has his son,
Oh yeah, he's with his son as well.
which that's kind of wild. I wonder if they realized that or not, or if this is like a baby that got sold, or
Yeah, I don't know.
and it's like a son lived with him in the cage type situation,
Again,
or
it's
like
a-
artificial
it's
insemination.
a whole world. I don't really.
Yeah, man.
The exotic pets
Yeah.
thing. It's a whole world I don't really know much about.
According to them, they said when Tonka came to us, he was more human-oriented than chimp-oriented and rarely involved himself in group politics. But now you would never know that Tonka is new to the group. He interacts affectionately with all the chimps and will drop everything to join a grooming session, especially with his beloved Ursula inviting him.
Oh,
he's got a
himself
girl.
a lady, huh?
Oh, boy,
Wow.
I tell you what.
So he
Got
moved down
himself
to
a lady.
He went to that retirement center down in Florida and got a lady. I like it.
Frisky Tonka.
Got himself a lady. Got himself a son.
What a
What a-
change. And
Living
he lives
li-
in paradise
He's
now.
probably not even interested in hanging out in the driveway for Halloween anymore.
Right. Well, Tanya, when she was here, she says, "Hey, just put me out there. If Tonka comes to me, let me take him home."
Yeah,
What if he just throws his feces at her and you go, okay, that's it.
See, he loves me.
that's also an over. That's the old who gets the dog. We'll both go out in the yard and see who the dog comes to.
Yeah. I can imagine she's
Who's got treats in their pocket?
she's out there in the cage. Tonka walks up to the cage, takes a crap in his hand and throws it at her.
This is love.
Walks up with his arm around his new girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm
Ursula.
staying here.
Room for two in that crate, baby girl. Well, I hope that that's all true. Take all that with a grain of salt. I hope that it's all true. I hope that he's adjusted and that it's, I thought it was weird that they never showed any video of him thriving
In the
in
documentary.
the documentary. I just thought that was strange.
Well, he wasn't taken there till 22. Wasn't that like a follow-up thing that they did? Did they have enough
It
time?
didn't release, 2 years to go back and grab some B-roll of Tonka, like, eating a banana and getting his back scratched by somebody. Like,
Yeah, it was a
seems
little.
like we could have done that.
It was a little quick of a wrap-up.
Yes,
It
the
was a
wrap
little
up was very quick.
unsatisfying.
Yeah.
And
The
I'm
ending
like,
was unsatisfying, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I was expecting some make me feel good, make me feel like everything happened like it should, and I was unfulfilled.
Well, she said that they're thinking about maybe doing a 5th episode.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for
I
it, too.
will. I will watch it when it
some
drops.
crazy reunion show.
I'm here
They
for
go
it.
get, what's the guy's name from St. Louis? Andy Cohen.
Andy Cohen, yeah, host the
He
thing.
has Jared Goodman and Tanya come out.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like a reality show. They all fight on stage.
Hey, was it public how much they sold that for, or how much the director and all them made with that thing? I mean, because it was crazy
It was
successful.
a lot of money.
Crazy.
No,
She
she
made
dropped the 20 million
Yeah.
while she was in here. I followed up with her on the pod that's
On that
coming out
number?
next week on that number, where she got that number from, and she said they didn't release it. That's just rumors that she's heard from people who worked on the project.
Oh.
I'm so curious.
That the directors made $20 million off it.
And it was interesting to hear we got into some stuff that we didn't talk about here. That one thing that was interesting to me is she talked about how the film crew, she made friends with the film crew, and like a lot of those people were just hired guns. They were
Yeah, freelance guys.
freelance people that didn't really have a dog in the fight. No pun intended there, but she's like, there was one camera guy that he sent a pizza to my house after the crew wrapped. We did like a 14-hour day and sent a nice note, and he was like, hey, I know this is hard on you. I see the hours you're putting in, and
Listen, she's very likable, very personable.
she's like, I made friends with a lot of the crew, so she's like, I have mixed feelings about everybody. Except, what's his name? She hates that guy.
The lawyer.
Yeah, she
They
doesn't like
beat
that
a
guy.
lawyer.
But everybody else, she has mixed feelings about, and she's like,
Well-
I don't think anyone's purely evil. It's not black and white. It was just interesting, man.
Again, we had her on Tuesday, and now this whole lawsuit went through yesterday. So,
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, and we got a note from PETA yesterday in the email.
Yeah.
But I will say, I found her extremely endearing and almost charming,
She was very charming.
Yeah.
and I would say pretty brave coming on here and doing any of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So total respect.
Yeah, there was one thing.
as far as that goes.
When you're talking about like those phrases that kind of light your fuse a little,
Yeah.
the PETA email did have one of those in it. And I ain't trying to start a war with PETA. They were very nice. But it's any email where this phrase was, since you're so interested in this topic, here's some more info. It feels a little passive aggressive.
What's the line?
Since you were so interested in this topic, I was wondering if you might be interested in speaking with a representative about our work to save chimpanzees. It felt a little like they were almost. It just felt a little condescending.
Oh, really? I see that as overly professional, almost as if it's a court doc. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they have to be so buttoned up with the wording of everything because it's always dancing around legalities. I don't know. I kind of read it as overly professional. But I understand what you're saying. I think it could go either way. It's a fine
maybe.
line.
It's a fine line.
A very fine line between
Fine line.
extreme professionalism and
Okay, yeah, I could see it both. I could see it both ways.
As
too.
I've stated in my previous emails, when you get that line, it's like that's a little passive aggressive of like you're not responding in a time that I find acceptable without saying that.
Well,
to you.
okay, so in context, it says, so since you were so interested in this topic, I was wondering if you might be interested in speaking with a PETA representative about our work to save chimpanzees from exploitation. Your listeners might be fascinated to hear that PETA is currently offering a $10,000 reward for evidence that results in the confiscation by law enforcement authorities of chimpanzees held captive in roadside zoos and private homes. So,
look at us, IMDb professionals, self-proclaimed, just breaking down what this email could mean, word for word, line for line. I love
I was just saying there's a couple.
I don't know. Here's my thing. I don't want to get involved in this.
Yeah.
I'm not involved.
No thanks.
I got no.
We wish everybody
well.
well. I hope it all works out as it's supposed to in the best interest of the animals.
Yes, same.
We're animal lovers here.
We're all animal lovers.
We're all animal lovers.
I'm just saying. This email's two things stuck out to me. There's a couple of phrasing things in here that I was like, felt a little.
Was it the PS at the end, too?
Yeah, there's a PS. Anytime there's a PS.
You guys are reading into it.
I said it
PS.
to Moon, too.
Earlier today, PETA filed a new motion using Tanya Haddock's statements and actions documented in Chimp Crazy as evidence.
I look at it as a movie. Like, we just had a conversation. We walk away, and I go, look over my shoulder, go,
By the way,
by the way.
I killed your father. What?
All right.
But
Yeah, well,
But after
I
that-
guess that's the thing that, like, if the first phrase was buttoned up and professional, there's nothing about a PS that feels like a professional court. You don't see a post stamps in a court document. That's something like if I was trying to roast a listener who was like crying about something, I might be like, well, since you're so interested in how we run our show, I'll let you know this. PS. I look forward to seeing your comedy special. You know, like that's something that I would do.
I
to
look
kinda
at it
stick
as
to somebody.
As we walk away from each other, and I go, huh. And you got to have that little laugh. Oh, by the way,
Your fly's down.
you're flying. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have spinach in your teeth.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I just read it as another media
I just want to
relations
say,
person.
I don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
I don't want to be involved in any
With
kind of
PETA.
crusade with PETA or nothing.
Yeah.
Tanya Haddock's, I was fascinated by the show. We reached out. She wanted to come on.
Yes.
We asked her some tough questions.
We did.
And we gave her chance to tell her side
some
of the
fun
story.
questions.
Right? And some fun. So on the number 2 show, some fun questions. I was a fan of the doc. Had the woman in.
Sure.
Great.
I think it's fair enough.
The other thing this email does show me also is that gives her a little credibility in that they are on her. Where she goes, they go. Like they're her shadow. She was here. The next day we get an email from PETA. So and that was kind of what she said. She's like, wherever I go, they're breathing down my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That they don't have the right to do that. It's an open case. She's commenting on them. She did say on the air she thought they unlocked the cages. She's making accusations. So I get it. But it's like, it also shows me that they are on her. I bet this happens wherever she goes.
Wherever she goes,
probably a follow-up email.
There's an email right behind, coming right behind.
Right.
Again, I'm out. I'm not involved.
We love you, PETA.
Official statement. I'm out.
I don't love PETA. I don't hate them.
No.
Yeah.
I'm nothing. I'm nothing to
I
them.
still want to be on their top 10, though.
Yeah.
Their list.
I enjoy when they have the naked women on the corner protesting zoos. I don't know. I enjoy that.
I liked him on that Penn and Teller show.
I said this to her.
You know those protests they do?
No, man.
You don't know those?
I don't get the weekly, dude. I don't know what you're
They'll
talking about.
have or when the circus comes to town, they'll have have naked women in cages
And blood.
and yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. I had a
You don't know
couple.
anything about that?
I had a couple friends go liberating chickens once, and I don't know if it was on behalf of PETA.
Chicken lib,
I'm
huh?
sure it wasn't, but yeah.
Chicken libel?
They're like, hey, you want to go liberate chickens? I was like, no, I don't know what that means. And then hours
Get
later,
a bucket.
hours later in the bathroom in this tiny little guest house in the bathroom where we were supposed to be writing songs, I was like, dude, it smells really bad in here. What happened? Yesterday was
Smell
fine.
of liberty.
It was a smell of liberty. There were 2 chickens in there, and they didn't even look like chickens. They came from one of them farms, like in a building that's supposed to hold like 50, and there was 50 million, and they had no feathers and no nothing. And dude, it was ghastly disgusting, and they were in there. But they liberated.
Some of these animal lib people. I think we had a story last year. A bunch of animal lib people went to a mink farm.
They have farms of mink.
Is my favorite color.
No way.
And they open up the gates, and like 10,000 mink were let loose. 5,000 were immediately killed when they ran out of the highway.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you're right.
Remember that story?
Yeah. That's
Oh my goodness, dude! Look at this. They farm these things and they grow them right here, and then they just kill them and skin them. Holy
this
smokes!
is where Tanya's like she has
is
a
so
point
gross.
to some of this where it's like, well, if you're going to take them, they need to do it responsibly, not where you
Yeah,
just open the
it's
gate and
fur
let
farming,
them go loose.
but so
I
these
didn't know
animal lib
that.
people will go and they'll open up all the cages, and they'll go, "You're free, run,
Yeah.
run to the woods,"
Yes.
and they ran out on the highway, and half of them were immediately flattened.
It's like those. You ever seen the funerals where they let doves go?
Yes.
They get
Yes.
hit by a semi immediately.
Well, at least they weren't boiled, though,
Damn.
bro. Well, I think they're boiling these cats to death or something like that.
I don't know what they're doing.
It's not good.
It's not
That
good.
was kind of, and I said this to her, and I'll stand by this on my personal opinion of like, I was like, it seems like both you and PETA have a ends justify the means approach, which could not always be the best way to approach things. Like, you did what you had to do to get the outcome you desired, and you thought the outcome justified lying to a judge and going on the run and putting an ape in a Holiday Inn, which was dangerous to the public.
Yeah.
And PETA does very drastic things to get their point across. And it makes, at times, is it always the best and most productive way to get a line of communication open? I don't know if it is. I don't know if putting naked women covered in blood out in front of a circus where little kids are going to see clowns is the best way to get your organization
But Riz
liked.
wants you to keep trying.
But respect. That's your game.
We
respect.
don't know.
Respect.
Respect.
We don't know what
I
I
we're
just want to say, we're not involved in any kind of crusade or anything.
Yeah.
Just we're fans of Chimp Crazy.
Hey, we're
and the Chimp
Switzerland
Crazy
over here.
chick came on.
And we don't have any chimps in the bottom of this
No,
station.
Rafe
we
wanted to
promise.
bring chimps in here, and I said no.
Well, I'm bringing some monkeys in.
That is a true story.
Yeah. They might be in our basement.
Another
I don't
true
know.
story is there will be a fear-facing episode for Scott Rizzuto.
No, not in this studio. Anyways, hey,
I'm not sure you should use the word face when.
In the building.
Speaking of wildlife, sad news out of Australia. I'm sorry, not Australia, South Africa. You saw the story?
Just this few minutes ago.
You guys know Graham Dingo Dinkelman,
No, man.
dubbed South Africa's Steve Irwin?
Uh-oh.
He is no more.
Oh.
Graham Dingo Dinkelman is no more. South Africa's Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin. How did he die?
Well,
Not by a dingo, I bet.
oh,
Maybe a
some
dingo
minks.
ate your dingo.
oh no. Okay, yeah, I've seen this dude before.
He is a popular YouTuber. He's
What's he look like?
hundreds of thousands of followers, a wildlife conservationist, known for getting up and close and, with dangerous reptiles. He died after being bitten by a venomous snake.
Yep, that'll do it.
44 years old. Dinkelman, dubbed South Africa's Steve Irwin due to his similarities to the late Australian conservationist, died on Saturday, a month after being bitten. A month. So he was bitten by, he was bitten by a green mamba.
Jeez. Why are you messing with a mamba, man?
He was bitten by a green mamba, a snake he previously highlighted on social media.
Yeah, here's I have a video of him messing with this thing. And it says, despite being allergic to their venom, Dingo dedicated his life to protecting snakes. Isn't everybody allergic
To venom?
to venom? I mean, isn't that why we call it
Isn't that
venom?
why it's venom?
Is he overly allergic?
Well, they said he was bitten by this thing and he went immediately into anaphylactic shock.
Whoa.
So he's allergic to it like it's shellfish.
He was rushed to the hospital, put into a medically induced coma. In a coma for almost a month.
Look at that snake, dude. That's a Godzilla-looking thing. I mean, this is every aspect to its look says, nah.
Yeah.
Don't play. Don't hold. Don't play. In fact, don't look at me very long. That's what the snake says. It's got a face. It's got scales that all look. I mean, look at this thing.
lotion.
This looks like a cartoon snake. It doesn't even look smooth. It looks like Godzilla.
Yeah.
That's actual.
And this
camera.
guy, let me pick this up. I'm going to pick it up.
And I'm all about the people that don't have the fear, doing this kind of stuff. And Irwin's kid,
Bindi, the girl, and there's the son too.
But the fella, I think Bendy runs the zoos, and the kid is all over social media. The dude, and he's great. I'm all about these kind of people that are fearless,
It's fascinating
and smart and intelligent.
Educating. And
yes,
they educate people.
I'm all about that, and I love the fact that they're all over YouTube and that they're doing well. But man, it really sucks to hear about losing them, and it feels like it's one of those inevitable things. Like
well, if you are you're somebody who jumps out of a plane for a living, there is the off chance your chute's not going to open, and you're going to plummet to your death.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who handles snakes for a living, and you are a conservationist, and this is what you do, this is your livelihood, there's a chance you're going to get bitten. I don't like the line that they used in this article. He died doing what he loves.
Yes, getting bit.
I thought about that the other day.
I love getting bit.
Who was the last guy that died on stage and people were like, he died doing what he loved?
The rapper. Like there was a rapper.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that's what any of us want. If you think it through, dying doing what you love, maybe that sucks.
I think that's the worst.
Yeah, maybe that's the
thing that I get the most enjoyment out of kills me.
Yeah, and okay, so
If you're humping,
I'm probably not surrounded by my loved ones. I'm probably not going to be at peace in my last moment because I'm like, what the hell? I got a guitar on and now my heart's exploding. Or like there's probably
he died doing what he loves. So Moon dies playing guitar on stage.
Yeah, that's the last place I want to go.
I
Being
think
stared
that's
at by
the
a bunch of
sad-
people I don't know.
No, not even that. There was a story earlier this year about a runner who was hit by a drunk driver. So he was running on the road, and a drunk driver hit him while he was running. And they said he died doing what he loves. What?
Getting hit by cars.
Getting hit by cars?
Yeah.
What? No, he did. No, he went out for a run. He put on his little shorts and he put on his running shoes.
Yeah, and you know what? Probably the number one fear for someone who loves running on the street is getting hit by a car. So he died doing what he was most afraid of doing.
I think the saddest thing is dying doing what. I love this thing, and it killed me.
Right. I'm not sure this is the best take on that.
It's like I love my wife so much. Like I love my wife and kids. More than anything in the world. If they kill me, are they going to say, "Well, he loved them so much. That's a good thing." The thing that he loved the most killed him. No.
what do you think?
Inconclusive.
They don't say it that way.
Remember Jeff Corwin?
Who's that?
He was like Steve's main competitor, like a little
Oh yeah.
softer around the edges. A little I'm like, he's still out there.
Oh, that's right. No,
Who's
he's
going to get Jeff Corwin? I feel like he'll get humped to death by a dolphin.
Who's this?
Just looking at the guy.
no, he's the one with like the like the softer face. He was Steve.
Yeah, he's not as he's a little-
Yeah.
You guys remember this guy?
Yes. Yeah, he made the rounds on a late
Starting
night.
to look like Clay Walker as he gets older, the country music star. But
He had
he's
an
still
Animal
out
Planet
there
show.
making it. He's bucking the odds. But he's a little softy. I feel like he's going to die in a funnier way.
So like he's so he gets humped to death by a dolphin.
Yeah, like he's going to end up getting like in the water with like bottlenose dolphins during mating season and just get humped to death
and
by two
they
male
are they
dolphins.
going to say he died doing what he loved?
Yeah, exactly.
Getting raped by a dolphin?
Yes, two dolphins.
I tell you what,
Not just one, two. Two dolphins are going to drag him
Right.
under, tag team him until he drowns.
there's probably a reason you haven't heard from him. He probably looked around and said, "Oh, wait a second, all of my contemporaries are dying."
I've aged out of this.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't want to do that.
I don't need to do this.
I have to back away from.
Oh, would you
the
rather
snakes.
die doing something you hated?
What happened to Jeff Corwin after his Animal Planet show?
Well, this article was written in 2020,
Well,
which seems like yesterday, but was kind of ages
that's
ago.
old, yeah.
Would you rather die doing something you loved or hated?
I don't want to do any. I never want to do something I hate. So clearly, that's not how I want to go either. But you want to have some sort of control. That's the dream. You know what I mean? The dream is having a nice family dinner and seeing all your family, and then going in your sleep that night, and nobody's the wiser. You know what I mean? Or you're surrounded by everybody, and you get to.
I love
salute 'em
sleeping, so
and say-
dying in my sleep, yes, he died doing what he loves.
Yeah, that's
the
what
way
I
to go.
love.
That's
That's
the
the way
true.
to do it. If I die in my sleep, I want my obituary to say, he died doing what he loves. Sleeping.
Yeah. Successfully.
So, yes, the South African Steve Irwin has passed on. R.I.P.
sad.
Graham Dingo Dinkelman. This story out of England, a doctor let go after seeing urinating in hospital sink. This, of course, reminded me of Jeff Burton.
Yes.
Who was
Dr.
a frequent sink urinator. A doctor has been fired after he was caught urinating in a hospital sink twice. The doctor's name is Dr. Graham Evangeli Eli Michael Holmes. We'll just call him Dr. Holmes. He shocked his colleagues when they caught him relieving himself into a sink after his morning clinic finished, and that he had to go before a disciplinary panel board. The doctor, they didn't like this also. The doctor also said in front of a patient that a CT scan would have to be carried out to, quote, see if she had a brain. This guy didn't have the greatest bedside manner. But
Okay.
Dr. Holmes, who's in his 70s, I guess on two separate occasions, he was spotted urinating in his sink in his office. And it's in the office consulting room at Gosport War Memorial Hospital. He was alone in the room, but he was visible through a window to passersby in the hallway.
Oh no. Oh man, I wish Jeff was here because he would somehow defend this.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear the argument.
So in front of the disciplinary board, a staff nurse says, quote, as I walked past, I paused as I was shocked to see through the window that looks out onto the corridor, blinds fully open, standing very close, side onto the window, by the clinic room sink, fully clothed with his penis in his hand over the sink. He was not aware of being observed. I reported this immediately to my manager.
So they could see his dingling then?
Yes.
Oh.
Wow.
That's probably the problem, right?
Another nurse in the hospital realized she had also seen Dr. Holmes peeing in the sink after speaking with the first nurse. She said, I thought I'd witnessed something similar days earlier, but I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought I also saw Dr. Holmes peeing in the sink in the consulting room he used.
That seems like something you'd know or not know.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
How to,
Well, maybe don't be a little looky-loos.
yeah.
Oh, right.
Mind your own business.
Let the man pee. That man's
Let the man
so
pee.
busy. He's just like, I love my patients so much. I'm peeing in the sink to save time. It's like the FedEx drivers peeing in jugs to get you your packages.
That's right.
That man's going the extra mile.
Except for this guy gets to wash his hands immediately.
I ain't got no
Immediately.
time to go to the bathroom.
At the same time.
What if he doesn't wash his hands? What, a monster.
What if he's scrubbing in to a surgery
That's
while
what I was
he's peeing in the
thinking.
sink?
I thought they were going to say
Saving
it was
time.
what do you call those? The sterile
Yeah, like a
sinks or
sterile,
whatever, but yeah.
sterile sink. Hey, I got an update on Jeff Corwin.
Jeff Corwin, what's he up to?
He is doing a Wildlife Nation TV, and look at this. He posted 15 hours ago. But what's he with? You know, some harmless
A docile.
manatee or something.
It could be a woman.
But to be honest, this is kind of a dream job for me to do something like this. But this is why he's still alive and still cruising, because he's the GoBots of animal
he
guys.
is.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he's like the
he's not really taking
fake
any risks.
Transformer.
Yeah.
Not the fake one.
knockoff.
I'm just saying, like, look, here he is holding a bird. Here he is holding a bird. Here he is holding ferrets. Or no, those are possums. Here's another bird. Here's a seashell.
So he's not doing it. He's not holding.
snake.
He's not holding anything
It's a boa.
Yeah,
that's going to kill him.
Non-venomous.
No.
Non-venomous.
And the other guy's really holding it.
Steve
He's
Irwin,
holding an alligator, but look how little it is.
baby gator.
It's a baby.
Steve Irwin would get down there and
Yeah.
get with the Crocs.
Yeah.
He was the crocodile
He'd jump
hunter.
on him.
Yeah,
He'd
this
jump
is-
on him. He'd
this-
wrestle him.
I love GoBots. Like, this is still good, but he's not taking any risks.
Steve Irwin, yeah, he was getting down and dirty with the venomous stuff. This dude is like, here, I'll touch a bird.
All right, show some B-roll. But not to knock on this guy. He is nice.
No,
He-
listen,
he
he's an
looks-
educator.
Yeah, he looks like a meteorologist that
Yeah.
loves animals.
He'd be fun to hang with.
He's an educator.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I do appreciate it. But this guy's Jeff Corwin's not getting in and, not
Some
holding
big snapping turtle in
green
that one.
mambas.
That'd be a hell of a way to go. Look at that
Oh,
thing.
snapping
yeah.
turtle.
I'd take your arm. Okay, brave points there.
All right, fine.
Thanks, Uncle Jeff.
It's stuffed.
Fine. All right, so today we're going to do the trick-or-treating thing. When was the last time you bobbed for apples?
I've never bobbed for apples.
You've never done that?
I don't think so.
It would have been
That
like
sounds a nightmare.
21, I think, right after COVID.
Come on, it's a time-honored tradition,
During
right?
COVID, right?
It was fun,
It
man.
was like fall 2020. You were bobbing for apples.
Dude, it was a good time.
There was some fall festival I
keep
saw
your
a
mask
flyer
on.
for. There was a fall festival I saw a flyer for. It's like, get in the cattle trough with all the cattle feed. You ever see that? That's a thing now.
Okay, just the dried corn,
The dried corn.
right?
And then it said bobbing for apples. Like, oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, dude, that's so dumb.
I
It
thought
sounds
that
like
was long gone.
it does sound like something that's been long gone has now turned into a euphemism for something. You know what I mean? Bobbing for apples. Oh man,
Hold your tongue and say it.
you got.
Yeah, there are some time-honored traditions, American traditions, that some people will never give up. Some people right now is going, bobbing for apples? That's America.
yeah.
What? Nobody's saying that unless you're wearing a bonnet and you're a Puritan of some
You
sort.
can take my apple and you pry it from my cold, dead teeth,
My wet face.
my wet lips.
All right, so some time-honored American traditions were never given up, and there are others that some
Man.
people would love to never hear or think about again.
So did you guys do this in New York? Did you ever bob for apples?
No.
No, you see this in like
No,
Thanksgiving.
I've done this in my life. And whenever I was a kid, I remember in elementary we had some kind of fair, and they had this, and you're out there bobbing away, thinking it's awesome. Just having a great time.
Is to make-
What's the point of bobbing for apples?
is to make an entire group a fool. You
Was
know?
it
Yeah,
to
to make
just-
you look
you put your-
silly.
Is that all it was? Just like a fun game?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a fun game. It's
Right,
really
you put
difficult.
Prized? Was it during a famine? You got to keep the apple? What was the?
Oh,
what's
the-
the origin?
I think you grab an apple and you, however many you could get in a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah.
No, I thought if you just got one, because I
Yeah.
don't think it's very easy to get them.
Usually I can only hold one at a time in my mouth.
No, but you get one and you spit it out and you go back in
Oh,
there.
I think you're right.
Like a fear factor competition?
yeah,
You
maybe
get back
that's
in
what it
there.
Got to
is.
fill up the other bucket?
Ooh, it was a courting ritual. That's how it started. I knew it had to be something to do. So it's not even a euphemism, dude. It is. It's
It
about
is?
banging. Celtic and Roman origins.
Well, let's bring it back.
Bobbing for apples was a way to predict romantic destiny. For example, if a young woman bit into an apple on her first try, she was destined to marry her desired mate.
Well, somebody asked social media, what's a common American tradition or holiday that you think might not exist in 25 years? And bobbing for apples was on this list.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it hasn't existed for 25 years.
People are still apparently, I'm looking at the instant feedback, people are still bobbing for apples.
Oh, good. All right. Keep
What kind of
going.
apples? You're going to waste good apples?
Usually your
in there?
Red Delicious.
Oh, Red Delicious. Well, can we just make that extinct? That's a terrible apple.
So what do you guys think? What do you
Good bob apple, though. You're not eating
Yeah,
it.
it's a great bob apple.
Yeah, you're spitting them out.
You don't
Oh,
waste
okay.
a good apple.
Trash apple?
That's
yeah,
a
you're
trash
right.
apple.
Okay.
All right. So what do you think? What are some American traditions or holiday things that might not exist in 25 years for whatever reason? So bobbing for apples was on this list. Somebody said class reunions.
I could, social media has kind of gotten rid of the need for those. I feel
And
like
that's what they said, mostly because of social media.
they're changing. Like and granted, I went to a small school, but I saw somebody trying to put together like a class reunion that was basically like anyone who wants to come from this 5 or 6 year span, 92 to 98, because it's not like your specific class is doing. It's almost become like a high school reunion of a certain time period. And I could see that later becoming just
I have not been to any of my reunions. But wasn't the whole thing about class reunions like, oh, Moon, I haven't seen you in a while. What are you up to?
Yeah, catch
Let me
me
see a
up.
picture of your family. Now it's already out there. Like, I already know what you're
who
up
got
to.
fat.
Yeah.
I already
already know
know
all the
what you
things.
do for a living. I already know you have so many kids. I know what they look like.
The 20-year one is to see how people aged
Yeah, you
and
can see
compare
it.
yourself, make you feel better and worse about yourself simultaneously. Oh, man, have you seen so-and-so?
Right, but
Yikes.
that's already the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
We don't
Okay.
need to
No,
we don't
I-
need to pay money and go to a catering hall and put on a
Fascinating.
name tag.
I understand it. Yeah, it seems the use is...
Yeah. Have any of us ever gone to a class reunion?
No, my wife went to her 25-year one.
I would like to.
She had a great time. Or
Yeah.
20-year one.
I would like to as well.
'Cause I haven't kept up with them on social media, so I don't even.
Yeah.
It'd be exciting for me.
I would agree with that. There's something to be said about hanging out in person.
Yeah.
I love a
There's
lot
some-
of people I went to high
yeah,
school
me
with. I
too.
follow along with their lives on Facebook and send them messages occasionally. But it'd be nice to get everybody in one room and
Yeah.
All right, so these are some of the things that people are saying may not exist in 25 years. Somebody said trick-or-treating in your neighborhood. So people said there are designated quote-unquote areas now that parents go and small communities are abandoned. They're saying 25 years trick-or-treating may not be a thing anymore. Or gender reveal parties.
those shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Partially due to people being overwhelmed with baby-related events and partially due to forest fires and deaths. Christmas cards. In 25 years, are we going to still be sending out Christmas cards?
Yeah, I mean, will letters. I guess
Really
it goes hand in hand, right?
gender
Less and less and less.
They may already be dying out, possibly because of, your social media stuff.
Yeah. Well, have your kids ever sent someone a postcard or a
No,
letter?
no,
Wow.
no.
So that might be the.
One person online joked, my wife will single-handedly keep this tradition alive. Mm-hmm. But you send out Christmas cards, don't you, Scott?
Every
Your
once in
wife
a while.
does?
This year, now I will since I got to fight against this.
Do you
Gotta
think
save
Christmas cards will be around in 25 years, sending them out?
No.
I don't think so either.
So I shouldn't have invested heavily in
No.
that? Oh, boy.
Oh, you have a Christmas card company.
I know.
Rafe, you knew that, right?
King Scott had a Christmas card company?
Yeah.
Of course. I buy all my Christmas cards.
Thank you. That's the one. I knew somebody had to be local.
Black Friday.
That's already kind of gone.
That's already kind of gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll turn into something.
I mean, it is.
Well, there's Cyber Monday.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, yeah, it'll expand, or they'll figure out how to pinpoint that. They'll figure out how to pin that on something else. Like
'Cause
it'll,
if the-
it'll morph. I don't think it'll be gone.
Yeah. Huh.
It'll morph as it's morphed
Yeah.
into Cyber Monday and Small Business Tuesday and
Well, yeah, most of it's moved online, and it's because Black Friday has become less of a thing.
less of a thing as we know it.
Do you think tax day will go away in 25 years?
No.
Okay.
Car culture.
Car culture.
Car culture.
What do you mean?
Car culture.
Classic cars?
Yeah, it's like that like when we grew up, there was like a pretty solid car culture, and it continued. And it does seem to be different now because what are they making now that our kids will be excited to
That's not really holiday related.
drive as
No, it's
as
an
nostalgia?
American traditions.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It's American
cruising-
traditions and holiday stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
cruising Limburg is going to be no
So they listed car culture as something that may not be a thing in 25 years.
I think it will. I think it always will. And this is why. Because there's a couple different car cultures. There's like 40-somethings like us that finally have the money now to like buy our favorite 1979 Trans Ams and that kind of stuff. There's the older fellas that love the nostalgia and they got their Sunday drives and that kind of stuff. But
there's your Fast and Furious kids.
exactly. And it's not about necessarily racing or any of that kind of stuff. It's still always going to be, a car will always be a sign of independence. And it will be a thing for youth to attach their independence to something
there's
that gives
having
them
a car.
control.
There's having a car, yes, but there's having a certain kind of car.
Right.
And doing things to that car.
Yeah.
That was, oh my God, you see what Scott put on his car?
Right.
Or, remember when we were in high school, somebody would, get a sound system, put glass packs on the car, get a wing, spend all their money, that they made mowing lawns,
Yeah.
putting it into their car.
It's freedom, it's independence, it's
the
individuality.
best.
I don't think it will go away.
But our kids do our kids care about that?
We don't have enough money to care about that. But if we did, possibly. My son is 14 years old. He has a job. He works every weekend. He works hard and he saves almost every dollar he has. And you know why? Because he wants a 370Z.
Yeah.
He's saving up for a car. And why is because he got really into those car video games. He got into Horizon, he got into Forza and all those, and he really
But do
enjoys
his
thinking about
friends
cars.
really care what kind of car he gets?
Wasn't that
His friends don't, but he does. And
well? That generation aren't they kind of? Because it feels like the one in between us and your kids' age, they are the ones who don't care about cars. But
Right
it seems
now.
like your kids are the ones that are going to be. They love the retro kind of things. They're into like actual, like telephones or something. They want They're tired of all the modern stuff. They want the old school stuff.
I think just the fact that cars are associated with independence and freedom for young people means it'll change, it'll shift, like what the car culture is, but there will always be a car culture. As long as that's our...
People think it peaked with the silent generation, the boomers.
Yeah, maybe, but as long as that is our primary mode of transportation, I think there'll always be a culture for it.
I remember...
we may not recognize it.
My dad had a Corvette. And,
Yeah, dude.
on Sundays, he would go and meet up with the Corvette Club.
Every once in a while, I go on Fastlane Cars website every week just to check out like what they got. And anytime I see like some ugly ass 81 Stingray or something, I'm like, "Foo, boy,
You're
I
not
want
old
that."
enough to get one.
Now, I could see specific arms of the car culture dying off. Like, I don't think Route 66 has got legs in the future. Like, that's all like people who remember pre-interstate highways that romanticize like, I get my kicks on Route 66. Let's go, Harold.
Yeah.
Put the top down, and it's like there is like hotels and there's an industry along Route 66
Yeah.
that is for that.
For
like,
cruising.
the classic
Yeah,
American
Clown
road
Motel.
trip, baby. And I don't think the next generation's that interested in that.
No.
I could see
I
I could
agree
see
with
Route
that part of it.
66 becoming like a ghost
Oh, it already has.
road.
Unless there's a
it's
movie,
getting there now, yeah.
a movie or a TV show that brings it back to the spotlight.
I don't know. Listen, it was an interesting conversation people were having. Like, so what traditions, what common holiday traditions,
Yeah, that's
American traditions will be gone in 25 years? And
I have to talk myself off of that ledge, the car thing, because I get tempted. I almost bought a
but in 25 years, so now we're talking your kids.
Yeah, I still think. I mean, again, I think it's as long as it's our main mode of transportation, there's going to be.
But car
culture
culture is not just getting us from point A to point B. It's
I know. I'm just saying
the style of how we're doing it.
exactly what it represents and the timing in someone's life when they're coming into their own and demanding independence and separating from their homes and their parents and that kind of stuff. I think that tool, that main provider of those things, is the car and will be the car for some decades, and it's gonna be forever a thing. I do, like I said, I have to talk myself off that ledge. I almost bought a freaking Volkswagen Beetle the other day, just because I was like, man, I could sell some guitars and get this thing, and what do I do with it? And I don't need. What am I doing?
Sam says, "Hey Moon, look up the Gateway Z Club. We would love to have you." And
I know, man. But
hang out.
Hand me a car, and I'm in your club.
all right.
I think
I can't do it. I can't. Stay away from me, you drug pushers.
We'll see. We'll get back to you in 25 years. See if the car culture is still
Dude,
a
it's
thing.
kicking,
big
man.
baseball card culture too. I think that was huge.
Well,
when we
I remember, having entire collections. I had the entire 1988 Topps, full set, and it was an investment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're worthless.
Oh, now that you just buy the digital ones. What are they called?
NFT.
Yeah, NFT.
Garbage.
Garbage. Yeah, I don't know if youth interest in baseball is waning anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think there's a generation that still has because you still hear about baseball cards going for millions of dollars, and I'm like, who is setting the value?
Yeah, those are the cards from the 1920s.
I get it, but I'm like,
Who's
I
buying
don't
it?
think there's a kid. I don't think there's a 10-year-old kid right now that's like, I'm gonna get rich and buy that.
I want a Honus Wagner.
I want it. I'm gonna have it. So at some point, the market will drop out. The value is they're only valuable if you have a buyer, right? The value is completely.
They're only worth what somebody will pay.
You're
for.
right, exactly.
So at some point, the market's going to drop out on baseball cards and collectibles. Maybe, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
Well, you
there'll
could
be a
say that about
resurgence.
old paintings too.
Well, what the heck is going to happen to
Yeah, but I feel
baseball
like
in 25 years?
I feel like art has survived because art feels some sort of there's some sort of inner emotional sustenance that people get from art. I don't know if baseball cards qualify as art. Maybe they do. I don't know if a
Photography.
picture of Billy Ripken holding a bat that says
F face on it.
yeah, is going to. It is worth money. Do I think it's
Yes.
going to be? Do I think it's going to be up in the Louvre anytime soon? Probably not.
Maybe not.
But you may be
Check
right.
back in 25 years.
You may be right, dude. Maybe it will.
The F face Billy Ripken. You remember that card
On the bottom of the bat.
on the knob of the bat?
That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so funny.
How much is that worth? Look that up.
Okay.
It used to be a lot. but
It
I bet
used to
not
be a
much
lot.
now.
That was like the legendary Billy Ripken F face on the knot of the bat that you could see.
No, it's considered still one of the 30 most valuable 1989 Fleer baseball cards.
Yeah, Fleer. There we
Fleer.
go.
They're saying its estimated value is around $3,000.
I thought it'd be more.
This is according to June 6th. 2024.
Is that from the Beckett guide?
Um,
From
one of the most-
Beckett?
Okay, one of the most notorious error cards in the history of baseball card
Yes.
collecting.
And
it
if you
says-
grew up, if you were in your 40s and you know what we're talking about,
Oh yeah.
and you are a baseball card collector, you know of this card.
Fleer immediately tried to correct the issue by putting any number of things over it, from whiteout to black boxes to black scribbles. Prices for these cards soared, and even to this day, they can fetch a pretty penny in top grade condition, especially with the whiteout variation. Since it is the rarest of them all, you can get up to $3,000.
Okay, 3,000.
Uh,
I
they-
thought it'd be worth more.
No, I'm sorry. No, they're saying a PSA 10 is now $2,500.
Wow, so even less.
I need to go through and make sure.
Yeah. See if you got one of those there,
There,
Scott.
there was a Randy Johnson rookie card from that same year with a Marlboro ad in it that was extremely controversial when he played for the Expos, and that's worth about $800.
Yeah, that was there was that card. There was the Mark McGuire USA baseball card.
Yep.
That was a rare one too.
Was that 86 Donruss?
Look, here's the F face one, and if you got one that didn't have the whiteout or any of that stuff, it's only worth about $450.
It's still $450 is still good.
Yeah.
Considering.
That's still good. All right, listen, we got to take a break, but first. And that is brought to us by Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. Score $1. Hot Shots Tacos when the Blues score 5 or more goals this year. Get in the game at hotshotsnet.com/blues. From Peevely, Missouri, Joe Ham is our Hey, Joe Ham. Joe began listening to the show in 2020 and has been a devoted Riz evangelist ever since. His wife is already a member of Team Riz, so that's great, another couple. And she loves to remind him about it often. He's had the privilege of meeting most of the show, including Jeff Burton, over the last couple of years at various events, and hopes to cross paths with us again in the future. Joe loves how I control the pace of the show along with my range of random topics. Loves Moon's unique point of view. Learns female perspective, Rafe's version of fancy, and Scott's delayed jokes. Joe Ham from Peevely is our Team Riz member of the day. Get super sweet Team Riz member of the day soccer jersey. Get yourself signed up 1057thepoint.com/Team Riz. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Is your buddy here?
Let's see.
Comedian Scott James will join us. St. Louis' own.
He's here in the kitchen, he says.
All right.
Hey, we have a couple people in the chat that say they have that card with the whiteout version. That's worth.
Is that $450?
No. The whiteout version is like $2,800.
Oh, the whiteout version?
Yeah. The black box one. Shoot, I killed the thing. The black box one was like a couple $100. The one that's not that you could actually see the F face written on there is like $750. I think the whiteout one is.
Interesting.
Sell it now.
Listen, after the break, Craigslist Freak of the Week, our first quarterfinal matchup for the Craigslist Freak of the Year. Okay, so quarterfinals, Craigslist Freak of the Year, 2 ads going at it. We'll get into crap on celebrities. I'll tell you what band you're listening for today for the Face to Music competition. Your chance to win $1,000 and your chance to co-host the show for a day, listening for this one particular artist all day long. I'll let you know what it is next. Come back to the program. Phone number 314-624-3833 or 618-398-3833. The Mick Ultra Studio Cams. 1057thepoint.com/Riz. The socials at RIZZ Show. Your emails. RizShow at 1057thepoint.com. Joining us in studio, comedian Scott James.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
St. Louis' own.
Yeah.
Scott James.
Well, O'Fallon's own, but it's close enough.
O'Fallon's own.
If I'm out of town, that's not how I say it. I say
like a
St.
beer.
Louis.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, where are you from? O'Fallon? Nobody knows that.
Yeah,
Nobody
right.
would say O'Fallon. You'd say you're from St. Louis.
Which one? Which side?
Missouri. Actually, yeah, I could have been more specific there. You're right.
It matters, man.
Off to a terrible start, Scott.
Remember
Damn.
O'Fallon got rated like the best place in the country or some crap
O'Fallon
last
Mo?
year. Yeah, don't you remember that?
Oh, dude, I tell you
Scott
what, man.
was a big part of that.
Yeah.
O'Fallon's on the
Yeah, they
map.
heard I was coming. And they're
O'Fallon's
like,
favorite son.
Yeah.
No, you go out there. They got so many of these homes and developments going up there. It's a booming town.
It is indeed.
O'Fallon, Missouri. Well, you were at St. Charles Funny Bone
Yeah, man.
this weekend.
Yep, Friday and Saturday. 2 shows, 7:30, 9:30 Friday, and 7 and 9:30 on Saturday.
Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Glad you're here. Got a lot of stuff to do today, including the Craigslist Freak of the Week.
Good to hear.
We are in the quarterfinals of our Craigslist Freak of the Year competition. So we'll get to that in a moment. But first, we do have to shout out the head sponsors, our hat sponsors for this week. All these companies have made very generous donations to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. So our head's like a NASCAR. Hell, sponsor the crap out of it.
Right.
As long as you make a donation to Cardinal Glennon, we'll wear your hat. And we'll start with Moon. Your head sponsored by?
We love the food from Case and Bucks, where families and sports enthusiasts come together for great food, entertainment, and experiences. Visit their website, caseandbucksbarnhart.com, caseandbucksbarnhart.com.
Rafe, your head sponsored by?
Victory Men's Health, empowering you to live optimized in memory and support of our dear friend and loving brother, Jeff Burton. Visit victorymenshealth.com.
King Scott.
Yes, Alpha Pet, spelled ALFA, has been in the cat care business for more than 30 years, and they've patented the bottom liner and flat bottom sitting liner for your cat's litter needs, and they have odor and moisture absorbing crystals for the litter box too.
Ah,
Yeah,
crystals, so you know they're good.
that's right.
My head sponsored by Ella and Ollie Popcorn, locally grown
So good.
for your home popping experience. My favorite. Highest quality popcorn varieties, unique seasonings, oils, and poppers to enhance your experience. Visit the website at EllaOlliePopcorn.com. And thank you all for your donations to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. Also, you are listening for the band live today. The band live, Jeff Burton's favorite band live. So when you hear a live song, make sure you open up the 1057 The Point mobile app. My face will be on there. You tap my face and you have a chance to win $1,000. And you have a chance to co-host this morning show. So from now until midnight tonight, all day long, if you hear the band live, tap the app, open it up, hit my face, chance to win that $1,000 and a chance to co-host a morning show. All right, so let's get into this Craigslist Freak of the Week thing. So, Scott, all year long, we have been reading Craigslist ads from around the world. We scour Craigslist. We find our freakiest ads. We read them. Our listeners vote for the freakiest, whom they deem the freakiest. We put all the winners into a 32-team bracket. And we're whittling these ads down to who will be the official Riz Show Craigslist Freak of the Year.
So these are the last two right here?
We're in the quarterfinals now.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm telling you guys are going to vote via Twitter at RIZZ Show. This will be the most important vote you will cast all year long. This means something, guys.
Yeah, this will be the most important vote you cast this week, specifically.
Yeah, specifically, within the next 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Within the next 7 days, this will be the most important vote you will make.
This could change the trajectory of our country.
Of our country, yes, and our future. If you're going to vote for anything,
rock the vote.
Vote or die.
Vote or die. Was that a P. Diddy thing?
That was a P. Diddy thing, yes. Forget about that. All right, so Rafe's going to read the ads. Scott, I just want you to absorb these. I'm going to ask your opinion, like who you would want to see go through to the next round after Rafe is done reading the ads. So, Rafe Williams, if you would, let's get into ad number one.
Ad number one, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears, man for woman, 51 years old, Alberta. Hear ye, hear ye. I want you near me so I can use and abuse your ears. I'm looking for a person of any gender that will let me act out my ear obsession. The bigger the ears, the better. I do not discriminate. I want to ravage your ears. I'm obsessed and want to lick your lobes, suck your entire ear into my mouth, and scoop out and eat all the wax. Nom, nom, nom. In my mind, I see Dopey from Snow White and Seven Dwarfs style ears, just chock full of bitter, waxy nectar. Do not, I repeat, do not clean your ears for 3 weeks prior to our meetup. I want that orange and yellow ear gunk to fill my mouth as I suck on some gigantic ears that look like an open car door hanging off the side of your head. After I suck and lick you clean, I'll remove my pants and have my way with your ear holes. Ah, the sweet sounds of release. You will be leaving with fresh cotton balls in your ears. I am clean and uncut, looking for a woman on the thinner side, under 45. Thanks.
All right, that is your first ad for the quarterfinals. We call this freak Randy Waxon.
Randy
Waxon. Scott, any questions?
Yeah, I think this guy really missed his calling for an ear, nose, and throat doctor. I think this is
He
real
may
crossover
be.
here.
I don't know.
Giving you cotton balls too. That's very generous. I think that's a nice touch. It makes it seem like more of a professional setting instead of a sexy one.
Yes.
Can you imagine if you found out your ENT had this kink?
Had an ear hole fetish?
Like was cleaning out your ears. He thought he was like, doing you some medical favor, but he's
Right.
got some jar in the back,
You know
looking
what
like
the E
Ren and
stands for?
Stimpy.
If he just stopped you in the middle of the thing and was like, all right, hear me out. We've known each other a while now. Can I do it with my tongue?
Ugh.
Makes the doctor peeing in the sink seem reasonable.
All right, that's Randy Waxon, our first quarterfinal ad. On to the next one.
Number two.
Number two.
One woman's trash is another man's gold. Man for woman, 35 years old, Calgary, Alberta. We got two Albertas. What are we going to do? Battle the Albertas.
Battle of Alberta.
First-time poster here. I'm not sure if this is too, quote, out there or not. I'm a newly single guy in the market for an open-minded woman. I'm the only guy in my family of all sisters, and I'm a monster. Am I a monster for being super horny when I see feminine hygiene products in a little garbage can by the bathroom sink? This fad of mine started as a kid after being super curious one day. When I unfolded that wrapper and saw that tampon looked like it changed my life. I'm so aroused even thinking about it. My last wife wasn't into it. That's one of the reasons we're not together anymore. Even if I don't find a lady on here who will accept me for me, maybe you're willing to sell me your used pads and tampons. You're going to throw them out anyway. Why not make a couple extra dollars? A side hustle. I'm almost 2 years single now, and I miss my monthly gifts. I'm a subscriber to your menstruation. What I do with what you throw out is my business. I can offer a $25 Visa gift card every monthly exchange. I'm up to negotiate. Sorry, it can't be more, but I'm working 2 jobs at the moment, and it's hard to make ends meet. Alimony and child support are a bitch. Thank you for your time, Roger.
All right, that is your second quarterfinal ad. Somebody we call Flo Pesci. Flo Pesci. Scott, any questions about this particular freak?
Yeah, what's up with his ex-wife? She seems like a real square. Like, what was she going to do with them anyway? It's not like he was asking her to hang them from her ears and... You know what I mean?
I also love the oddly specific $25 Visa gift card as far as the subscription to your...
Yeah.
It is a monthly subscription, too, if you really think about it. I mean,
your monthly mess. Okay, so it's going to be either Randy Waxon or Flo Pesci moving on to the next round. We are going to endorse our favorite. And it's up to you guys. You'll vote via Twitter at RIZZ Show. It's your vote that counts. But we will endorse our candidates. And I'll start with Moon. Who would you like to see move on to the semifinals?
Okay, so for a quarterfinal here, usually I would expect myself to be a bit more 50-50 and having a hard time with this. But this one is easy for me, 100% Randy Waxon.
Oh, earhole guy,
100%.
Huh? Wow.
So, Flo Pesci, weirdly, we do come across more, we'll say Flo Pesci's than Randy Waxon's, okay? And I'll back that up by saying at least Flo Pesci has some sort of enterprise here. Remember, he's alimony and child support are a bitch, so I don't know what he's doing with them. And I hate to say this because clearly I'm not...
writing them off.
I'm not supporting this guy or nothing. But at least that has something to do with down there. And I know that sounds silly, but I got to separate these two somehow. And one of them is just so freaking out there. The ears and the wax and the whatevers. I don't know, man.
I want that orange and yellow ear gunk to fill my mouth as I suck on those gigantic ears that looks like open car doors hanging off the side of your head.
Yeah, what? I think he's...
He also wants to...
Yeah, right.
Be naughty
Bang
with
your ears.
Yeah, I think he's far
and away, huh?
I think he's a way freakier freak than.
So you think this is going to be a runaway?
No, I didn't say that. I just said that for me, there's a winner, 100%.
King Scott,
and I agree with Moon. Pesci is very, very common, sadly, in this world. And what we do every Thursday is very common. So I'm going to go with Waxon.
Okay. Comedian Scott James, O'Fallon's own.
What's going on in your guys' life that this is vanilla? This guy, you know what I
We've
mean?
been doing this for a long time.
We're very
say-
desensitized to this, Scott.
I'm going to say Flo Pesci because the fetish started with his sisters.
Yes, and that is
That's
my
the freakiest part of
that
it,
is
man.
1,000% my reasoning for
There's
going
a-
with Flo
It
Pesci.
didn't necessarily start with his sisters. It started in his youth at his home.
In his home with his sisters.
Well, who else was it going to start with?
Well, I'm just saying. At least there's a track.
Am I a monster for being super horny when I see feminine hygiene products in the little garbage can by the bathroom sink? The answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
The fet of mine started as a kid after being super curious one day, and a guy and a family of all sisters.
At least you can track it back, and he's doing the work for us. He's telling us exactly where all this started and all that kind of stuff. It just seems extra freaky, but this other guy is just.
So
where'd
Scott,
that start?
Flo Pesci, Riz, Flo Pesci, Rafe.
I am going to go with the Cousin Brothers on this one and break the tie and say Randy Waxon, because Flo Pesci, he just wants some trinkets. He wants some ornaments for his Christmas tree. He's not even going to come into personal contact with you. This is purely transactional for him. He wants some little knickknacks that you make for him. This is practically an Etsy store at this point. A disgusting Etsy store, but nonetheless.
Yes.
Randy Waxon wants to do stuff to you. He wants to show up in person. And Randy wants to get in there. He doesn't just want to.
Yeah, he's going to get in there.
He wants to get in there, and this is a mix of two things that usually go far in this show. Wanting to eat gross things. I feel like those freaks do well. And he also wants to freak you. But he doesn't want to freak you into normal places. So for me, while Flo Pesci is disturbing in some ways, it's just a man in search of some trinkets versus a man in search of something far more nefarious.
I just cannot get past the whole. I'm a guy in a family full of sisters, and that's how it started.
Yeah.
So.
Well, also, you're talking about the guy eating stuff being the freakiest part. Trust me, these feminine hygiene products, they're going into that dude's mouth.
Yeah, oh yeah, for
That's
sure.
tea for sure.
See, I don't take what's not on the page.
That's right. We can't.
Yeah.
It's pure conjecture. Objection, Your Honor. Conjecture.
That was weird of me to assume that.
I've got what I've got.
It's up to you guys. It's Randy Wax and it's Flo Pesci. Vote via Twitter at RIZZ Show. We'll have the winner when we sign out tomorrow. All right, today is October the 31st. 1,190 years ago, in the year 1834, the Roman Catholic Church moved All Hallows Eve to October 31st. The celebration has been established to honor the saints. Now it mostly honors zombies, sparkly vampires, Deadpool, and Harley Quinn. 98 years ago, in 1926, Harry Houdini found the one thing he couldn't escape: death. He died in a Detroit hospital of gangrene and peritonitis resulting from a ruptured appendix following a punch to the stomach. That's how he died.
Isn't that crazy? It was like some college kids on the street that like recognized him, and he had done this thing where he said he could take any punch in the gut, and he just like let these three college kids just wail on him, and that's what ruptured his appendix, and he died.
Yeah, what would be
Wasn't even a show.
What would be a normal, let's take that appendix out surgery? That killed him. Houdini. On this day 98 years ago. 83 years ago, 1941, Mount Rushmore was completed, featuring the sculpted head of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln. From what I hear, and I've never seen it, one of the most underwhelming historical sites or monuments in the country. From what I hear, I've never seen it. What is that, South Dakota?
Yeah.
Has anybody seen it? Has anybody gone up there?
Yeah, I have.
Is it underwhelming?
Extremely. But
Extremely.
You can't get close to it, can you? Like, it's not
No.
like
Yeah.
you're viewing it from a distance. Like, the postcards are better, probably.
Right.
yeah, it's smaller than you think. They do a laser
Where they do a
show.
laser show.
See, that's
and that's
cool.
neat as a kid.
I love lasers.
right. But it's kind of out of your way. I mean, it's a beautiful part of the country.
I just want to see the whole area.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but it's not all that. I would say, to tell you the truth, I think Stone Mountain's kind of cooler. It's basically like
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's in Georgia. It's the South's Mount Rushmore, if you will. But this is a big giant stone, and they put this scene on it. They carved the scene, but you can hike up the back or take
But
a
does it have the
trolley up
face
to the
of
top.
Teddy Roosevelt?
It doesn't, and he is
Well,
a very attractive mountain piece.
And Team America's in there.
But what I want to see is the it's not the other side. What's the other one up there with the Native American?
Crazy Horse?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that one,
That's
actually.
in the same place, though, right?
I don't know.
Is it?
Trying to
I don't know.
sweeten
Never
the
been
pot.
up there.
It's in South Dakota.
I don't think so because I think they're
Never
run
been
by
up there.
different folks, and I think that was like hey, you destroyed a really sacred place to these people, and we're trying to make it right on the other side.
31 years ago, 1993, 23-year-old River Phoenix did himself in, had himself a speedball, collapsed, died outside the Viper Room, that Hollywood club then owned by Johnny Depp. That was 31 years ago today. 18 years ago today, 2006, Bob Barker announces he was retiring from The Price is Right. 14 years ago, 2010, The Walking Dead premieres on AMC. And 13 years ago in 2011, Kim Kardashian files for divorce from Chris Humphries just 72 days after they got married. And that's what happened back in the day. All right, it's time to find out what's going on in the world of music and entertainment with your crap on celebrities.
All right, well, your Grammys are moving networks. Music's biggest night will head from CBS to Disney properties, ABC, and Hulu in 2027. The Grammy Awards have called CBS home since 1973, so that is a big change. In 2027, ABC is going to have the Super Bowl, the Grammys, and the Oscars in the first few months of the year, so ABC is the place to
Does
be.
anybody really,
Does anyone care?
anybody even watch award shows anymore?
No, and I would say the Grammys has been probably one of the more boring ones for longer.
Yeah, I think maybe we're out of touch.
Us?
Yeah. Yeah, they play,
Yeah, you're right.
they play what is popular, with pop music and
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
not-
right.
I might be at the age where I actually recognize more people from the in memoriam.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have to watch. You don't have to watch that live. It's. I mean, honestly, like the next day, it's all clipped up and it's all over.
You see the highlights.
Instagram. Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing about these award shows back in the day when they were so popular was because you didn't know anything about these people. You didn't know anything about them. You rarely saw them. Like
Right.
you saw them on the big screen. You saw them on your TV. You heard their music, and that's really it. Every once in a while, you'd see like a picture in People magazine. Now with social media, TMZ, Instagram, all this other stuff, you see them all the time.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about seeing them again. Right?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, is it the live performances that they're trying to get young people to watch? Because my kids don't watch TV.
No,
The
young
access,
person.
dude. You nailed it. You used to have to watch the Oscars to see how Brad Pitt talked in real life, or to see like, oh, what's Tom Hardy's British? That's crazy.
Yeah. Same for like Sacha Baron Cohen or
Right.
Daniel Day-Lewis when he came up. And people were like, oh my gosh, what?
But now it's like social media. You can interact directly with them all day long. It's not as special as it used to be.
0 kids watch award shows.
Yeah.
0 kids.
Well, speaking of names that we may not know, People just released its 2024 Reader's Choice Poll ahead of the Sexiest Man Alive reveal on November 12th.
Which is what I look forward to every year.
That's
you know that.
right.
Uh-huh.
Sexiest man alive.
350,000 votes were cast in the poll this year. In September, People put forward 15 categories, from sexiest musician to sexiest supportive partner in sports.
Okay, so who do you think?
How's that category? Come on.
Sexiest
man.
supportive partner in sports?
Oh, how about the sexiest long married star? That went to Tim McGraw. Shamar Moore is the ultimate 90s hottie as Jen's sexiest. Who's Shamar Moore?
Black dude.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm sure if you saw his face, you go,
It was a soap opera guy.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Post Malone, but the sexiest tattoo winner went to Jeremy Allen White. Sexiest summer
The bear.
action star went to Glenn Powell, beating out Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and Ryan Gosling. Mark Consuelos took the crown for sexiest talk show host. Sexiest musician went to Harry Styles.
Okay.
And sexiest radio personality went to King Scott.
Yep. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Very thrilled with that. And I think this will get
Congrats,
kids
buddy.
to watch the award shows.
So Deadpool and Wolverine, it generated $1.3 billion at the box office. It's now coming to Disney Plus November 12th. Disney Plus starts at $10 a month. If you don't want to shell out the money for that, you can always get it on Fandango or Apple TV Plus for $20. Tom Hanks said he's not a good dad. And this is according to him. He said in a new interview, quote, I made every mistake, the scar the kids somehow in the exact same way. And as they get older, you come back around and say, hey, can I talk to you about what a knothead I was with you all those years? And they say, yeah, sure, Dad. Yeah, I've been kind of waiting for this. Why don't you unload? And then he said, but I would say at the same time, does it come up to be 50-50? Maybe the attitude and the life that we led, the laughs, that stuff's worth its weight in gem-encrusted gold. So Tom Hanks, self-admitted, bad dad.
But in doing so,
Praised himself as being a great dad.
great dad.
Right. Like,
That's
it's so
incredible.
brave that I could admit this about myself. But, I made some mistakes. Oh, good for you, Tommy. He is 50-50 on kids. He's got one kid that seems to be a pretty big scumbag and one that's a very talented actor.
Oh,
Nepotism.
Chet Hanks, right? He's the rapper.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you only
My
put this
favorite
out
rapper.
because he has some
that's
explaining
always
to
been-
do.
And Colin Hanks is a documentarian. He's a wonderful director and actor.
Right.
Got great comedic timing.
So basically, he said, I'm a normal dad, and then said, I'm a great dad, too.
Yeah,
Well,
that's why I only had one kid, just in case the next one is a Chet Hanks, man. I gave my kid a 10-year grace period. I was like, nah, this is the one. We
You got
did it.
So you got one kid?
Just the
That's
one,
smart.
man.
Boy or girl?
Boy. Batting
Nice.
1,000, man.
Nice.
Kid's great. He's in college, and he don't give me any problems.
Oh, you got college age kid.
Yeah.
What school did your kid go to?
He goes to Mizzou.
All
Oh,
right.
nice.
Yeah.
Go Tigers.
I've always said that I had a bit about that for a while where I'm like, if that's how hard fatherhood is that Tom Hanks is America's dad. And he's still batting 50-50. He still made a Chet. A son who raps in a fake Jamaican patois accent.
It's good, though.
Guy's America's dad. So just being a regular dad, cut yourself some slack out there, dads. Even Tom Hanks.
With all the resources in the
with
world.
all the resources.
in the world.
Still couldn't pull both of his kids through the fire.
Does he? How many? Is he only got 2 kids?
I think they might have a third, actually, which is
God, if there's a third that nobody talks about, what is that kid up to?
Whoa.
Yeah, Tom Jr. Who knows?
Tom Hanks' kids.
He's probably a billionaire.
Oh, he's
in
got
politics.
4 kids.
4 kids.
geez.
Ooh, sorry, other 2.
He had
There's
his daughter.
Colin, there's Chet, there's Truman, and there's Elizabeth.
Even so,
They're
he's,
both in jail, right?
he's still only 3 for 4. You know,
Is it a little bit Tom Hanks's fault for naming that kid Chet in the first place, or is that like a nickname, or that's what he calls himself as a
Chester.
rapper or something?
I think that's his. Chester is his real name. Chester Marlon Hanks.
Yeah, that's a presidential name. That's setting the bar way too high for this poor kid. That's a lot to live up to. That's why he's doing that.
Chester. So Truman Hanks is the youngest son. Who is Tom Hanks' lesser-known youngest son, Truman? Not many people know about Truman. He is an actor and cinematographer.
Well, I'll be darned.
And the daughter just looks just like him.
Really? Let me see.
I'm sure she
You
doesn't
can't
like
see the
hearing
Tom
that.
Hanks there?
Yeah, kind of. Okay. I can see that. What does she do? Who is your daddy and what does she do?
She is an actress.
Oh, hey.
Ah.
By the way,
I got
his,
interested in that.
Yeah, pull up the 2 younger, the daughter and the other youngest kid, and see what their IMDb. That's just something they say because they're like, yeah. If you're Tom Hanks's kid, you just get to say like, yeah, I'm a producer.
So the
buy
daughter was in Forrest Gump. She is the girl on the school bus who refuses to let young Forrest sit next to her.
can't sit
She's
here.
the can't sit here
Seats
girl.
taken.
Yes.
Seats taken.
I know that Colin is exceptional in the season of Fargo that he's in. You guys
Oh,
gotta
he's
see
like
that
an
show.
he's like an established
Yeah, he's
director.
good.
And
Oh, yeah, I
he
know,
did
I'm
that
just saying.
documentary about the Eagles of Death Metal at the shooting at the
I
Bataclan,
forgot about that.
which is, I mean, I hate to say like a terrorist, a documentary about a terrorist horrible thing. It was a great documentary, but it's a good documentary.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of kids, you guys know that Michael Scott on The Office had kids when he returned for Dwight's wedding. He found out, we all found out that he had 2 kids with his wife, Holly. And it was never mentioned on the show, but those kids actually have names. So St. Louis's own Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey revealed them on their latest episode of Office Ladies podcast. Holly was supposed to come to the wedding with Michael, but Amy Ryan, the actress, had a scheduling conflict and couldn't appear in the episode. But there was a scene written where they revealed the kids' names. Anybody want to take a guess on what Michael and Holly's
Were they
names
not normal?
They are not normal.
Oh, so it's not Michael Jr. and
They are Chebonshur, Shabanshur, and Loshibin, Lowshebin, Loshibin and Shabanshur. Holly then explains in the scene, Michael named them. He said it was based on the feeling he had when he first saw them.
So those are the words that those are the sounds that he uttered.
Shabanshur and Loshibin.
Okay.
If you want to hear how they pronounce it, just go to the podcast for Office Ladies and skip ahead to minute 55, second 29. Paul Stanley has defended Kiss's well-chronicled history with groupies, describing the relationships as wholesome flings in which nobody got hurt. Quote, I don't think we promoted ourselves for what we were doing backstage or at hotels, the singer explained. During an appearance on Steve-O's Wild Ride podcast, he went on and said, it was just common knowledge. I mean, people were just seeing what was going on. It was terrific. What a great, great life. It's everything that people imagine it to be and more. He then went on to say that they had a connection with their groupies beyond sex. Quote,
No, they didn't.
The interesting thing was for all the girls, groupies, young women, whatever they were, it was really kind of, no pun intended, wholesome. They were there because they loved music and they'd travel with you. They would do your laundry. You'd go to the movies with them. There was nothing tawdry about it. It was companionship. They loved music. I loved them, and it was a good trade-off. The women who would come to the shows weren't coming to be courted. You have tonight, and we all know that. You know that. I know that. It was very simple, and nobody got hurt. Nobody ever walked away feeling disrespected or diminished. Now, according to him, their groupies had an unspoken understanding that kept everything carefree and fun.
What a way to spin it, man. Good for him, man.
dude, awesome.
Also, we did just read some pretty freaky stuff, so yeah, maybe what they did was relatively wholesome.
milk toast.
He's no Randy Waxon.
So basically,
the 4 women Gene Simmons kept under the risers to service him in between songs were there for companionship.
Yeah, and did his laundry after.
And they loved it.
And it was
fun.
wholesome.
And it was wholesome.
Yeah.
Apple pie.
Slayer have been announced as headliners for the 2025 Louder Than Life Festival, set up for September 18th through the 21st in Louisville, Kentucky. Fest organizers wasted no time announcing the return of Slayer after the thrash legend's 2024 appearance at the fest was washed out by Hurricane Helene. While the other 3 days of the 2024 edition did take place last month, Slayer were among the acts that did not perform due to a cancellation of day 2. Heart has announced the opening acts for its Royal Flush Tour. If anybody's interested in that in 2025, the band has tapped Squeeze, Cheap Trick, I know you're a fan of Cheap Trick, and Lucinda Williams as special guests for most of the shows. Last month, they added a bunch of concerts to their tour itinerary next year. I guess they had to take some time off because...
Well, Ann Wilson got sick.
Yeah, Ann Wilson had some medical issues and needed a timely surgery or something like that. Did you guys ever watch that Jack Ryan show? I think it was on Amazon.
Krasinski?
Yeah.
Yeah, John
I
Krasinski.
watched the first season.
It was good.
Yeah, it was fine. It's like an
What
exciting...
happened to it?
episodical, easy, just action. One of those
Right.
Tom Clancy kind of things.
Couldn't make the leap in my head
From
from Jim Halpern to Jack Ryan. He needed something in between.
yeah, he
He
did
did.
a
Remember,
good
he had
job.
that remember there was that 13 hours
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
I just watched
I
that
guess
for
I
the
needed a
first
minute
time.
Which is
Yeah.
great.
And A Quiet Place. I mean, he did some more stuff.
Yeah. Quiet Place.
Yeah, but he didn't play a recurring character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
he had one-off movies and stuff, but I don't know. Just me. I'm not saying he's not great. I just couldn't do it.
well, they plan to capitalize on the success, and they're making Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan series an action-packed adventure for the big screen. They're
Oh,
going to
so a
make it
movie.
into a movie.
Cool.
It is going to have him. CI Deputy James Greer is also set to reprise his role. Michael Kelly, who plays Mike November, he's in talks to come back. Upcoming film is going to be helmed by Season 2 director Andrew Bernstein. The script is coming from Aaron Rabin from Nobody 2. And he's also, of course, Krasinski is going to be producer. And he's just coming off that family fantasy If
Which
and
was,
A Quiet Place.
Which was a big disappointment.
It was?
That If movie?
Yeah, did you see it?
No, but I know like it went nowhere.
Well, I guess they're going to do it a year after the Amazon series concludes. One of the biggest debates in film history, and we were talking about maybe playing this. Remember, because I'm gonna do the projector movie on the garage tonight while we're trick or treating, or while the trick or treaters come by. And one of you guys said Nightmare Before Christmas, and I said I thought that was a Christmas movie.
I thought it was a Halloween movie.
We all thought it was a Halloween movie. Well, this is one of the biggest debates in film history. What is it? You say Halloween. I thought Christmas. What do
I
you
said
say?
Christmas.
Scott?
It takes place during Christmas. That's the thing, is Jack Skellington's like taking over for Santa, isn't it?
I don't know.
But is it it could be a movie that rides the middle.
I know this is a real die-hard debate here, whether that's a Christmas, but this actually, like, Santa is a character in it. That's I thought the whole plot. It's been a while, but right, like the
Yeah, the '93
Halloween guy takes over for Santa.
The 93 film
this?
follows
What's
Jack
this?
Skellington, the lonely pumpkin king of Halloween Town, who wants more cheer in his life, so he accidentally discovers Christmas Town. Jack schemes to take over the December
Halloween
25th holiday by kidnapping Santa, and things do not go according to plan. Now, some fans believe that the presence of Jack and the other spooky characters, a Halloween-centric town and all that, make it a Halloween movie first. Well, the director has weighed in. What do you think he said?
Tim Burton?
No. Tim Burton, this was a Tim Burton film, but the director is Henry Selick.
Oh, so what do you say?
So there's a Team Christmas, and this is apparently a debate every single year. Director Henry Selick exclusively spoke and said, I choose Team Christmas. Tim's idea was to combine Halloween with Christmas, where, unlike the miserable Grinch, a well-intentioned Jack Skellington takes over for the Christmas holiday. It's pure genius. 30 years after I directed the film, beneath its candy corn coating, skeletons and vampires, corpse child, witches, blah, 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 it is at heart a Christmas movie.
All right, so there it is. It's a Christmas movie.
Wow.
Settled. Done.
Here's what's really funny. 9 years ago, he said the opposite. 9 years ago, he said it was a Halloween movie
Come on.
during a Q&A at a
He
horror
got
show
paid
film
off for
festival.
something to say back then.
Composer
Christmas got to him.
Composer Danny Elfman, he declares for Team Halloween in 2019. He said, it's obviously about Christmas, but for me, it's a Halloween
I
movie.
always thought it was Halloween, but all right.
It's streaming on Disney. Kevin Bacon has a list of his favorite horror movies. I can maybe add these to the to the garage projection. Some of these aren't going to fly, though, in the neighborhood. What are your guys' favorite horror movies for this season to watch? Maybe
Mine?
Yep, I have Kevin Bacon's
I'm not a
list.
horror movie guy, but Scott, I'll ask you, what's your favorite horror movie?
I go old school, original Exorcist, baby. I got
Exorcist is really good.
even still watching. I got
It
a great
holds
story
up.
about watching that for the first time. But yeah, it's still freaky, and it holds up. It holds up.
You forget, like I watched it last year, and it had been a while. I forgot how filthy
Oh yeah,
Reagan was.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that girl's got a mouth on her, dude.
Man.
Is the remake good? Did they make a remake?
I don't know about a remake. The original, the Linda Blair character, Reagan, is so it's so shocking. There's words that come out of her mouth.
I
That's,
thought they
that's
made.
one of those movies you see. Like I think they were playing it at the Tivoli years ago, and I just went and saw it. It had been a long time since I saw it from end to end, and there were parts of it that I forgot, like the thing where she rolls down the stairs backwards. Caught me off guard. That jump scared the crap out of me, man.
Yeah, I think that was in the remake, and I remember seeing that in the remake, and that was
A
creepy.
remake or like a director's cut type thing.
Man,
Maybe that's why I didn't
maybe
remember
I'm-
that scene, is because it was like the director's cut.
Dude, they had a
Maybe
great.
that's it. I don't know.
A couple years ago, Fox had the show The Exorcist, and the first season was connected to the first movie and had the actress Reagan grown up. It was awesome, and then it just took a nosedive in season 2. It went from being super compelling and awesome, and to
And it had Linda Blair in it?
Yeah,
Huh.
Really? I don't think I've ever seen The Exorcist front to back.
I don't
I've
know.
seen it
I
in
like the
pieces.
cheesy, Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy.
Yeah. the
Everything
fun
you
one.
guys have mentioned is not on Kevin Bacon's list. I'll go down
Give me
from
Kevin
from
Bacon's
20.
list. Go ahead.
He says Stir of Echoes from 1999. That's his number 20. He was in it, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
his 19 was Smile from 2022. By the way, his daughter is in it. Number 18 is Hereditary from 2018. I think Learn talks about that one. That's one of her favorites. Martyrs from 2006. Midsummer from 2019. And if you haven't seen that, that is a
Yeah.
heck of a movie.
Yeah, that'll keep you up.
It will, man. I have scenes that are
Haven't seen
burned in
it.
my brain that I wish I could drop. I didn't see that in the right state, and it was gnarly. It's one of the few that's like a terrifying movie that's all in the daylight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
It-
not just the gore either. It is like the main character. She's just going through some stuff, man, and you're like, it just makes everything so ominous.
It's heavy. If you want to see a movie, Riz, that for Halloween, see that.
Midsummer?
Midsummer. Number 15 on his list is Slither from 2006. Don't know that. The Descent from 2005. Don't know that. Is that the one where all the group goes in the cave?
Yeah. Like the chicks.
Then on 13, he has The Blair Witch Project from 99. And I still think that's good.
Yeah.
I showed it to the kids, and they were super angry
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah,
That was
that
one of
has
those movies-
time.
Yeah, I hated it until the very last scene, and I was like, it kind of came around for me. Like it was so freaky there right at the very end.
Yeah, it's really well done, I thought. The Love Witch from 2016, never heard of that. The Witch from 2015, never heard of that. Number 10 is Tide. It's X, Pearl, and Maxine.
Oh, they're like a
Maxine,
trilogy,
yeah.
right?
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But it looks like Kevin is in one of those. Let the Right One In from 2008, he says is top 10.
The Hokey Pokey one, that's a good one.
A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night from 2014.
That's one of my favorites.
Really? What?
That's
I
good.
don't know what that is.
I believe it's Iranian. I didn't even realize Iran had a film industry, but they do, and that's really, really good. It's a vampire movie, but it's so weird. Like it just
weird.
doesn't connect with our view of vampires. It's really good.
Number 7 is Get Out from 2017. Number 6 is 28 Days Later from 2002. Number 5 is Shaun of the Dead. That one is awesome.
Heck yeah.
Number 4 is Dawn of the Dead. Number 3 is
Also good.
One Cut of the Dead from 2017. Don't know that. Number 2 is Don't Look Now. And number 1 is Audition from 1999.
That's his favorite? Okay.
And that is your crap on celebrities.
All right, celebrity celebrating a birthday today on Halloween. Willow Smith, that's Jada and Will's daughter, is 24. Eddie K. Thomas, who's that? That is Finch from American Pie.
3 first names.
He's 44. Vanilla Ice is 57. Adam Horovitz is, who's that?
He's a Beastie Boy. I know
Ad
that
Rock.
much.
Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys is 58. Rob Schneider, 61. Director Peter Jackson, 63. U2 drummer Larry Mullen Jr., 63. Legendary Alabama football coach and now college game day host Nick Saban is 73. And Dan Rather. How old is Dan Rather?
Oh, boy, he's up there.
He's got to be late 80s by now.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah, I'm
88.
going to say
88.
88.
88. Rafe. Dan Rather.
85.
85. Dan Rather is 93 years old today.
Oh, wee.
A lot of people weighing in saying this Japanese movie Audition from 1999 is
Yeah,
incredible.
good.
Audition. 19.
All right, today's porno birthday, which is being brought to you by Patricia's, where fun and fantasy meet, is Heather Lee. And today's birthday girl has been in 240 fine films, including The Adventures of Mr. Tootsie Pole 2, The Anal Chiropractor. She was in Assy Sassy 2. In time for Halloween, the AVN Halloween Sex Fest. She was in Baby Got Rack. The Breast Man Does the Twin Towers. Rave's favorite, Dr. Finger's House of Lesbians. She was in the Hollywood Halloween Sex Ball, and who could forget her role in 1996's The Temple of Poon. Heather Lee is 55 years old. That's your porno birthday. Those are your crappy birthdays, and that was your crap on
There's a giant
celebrities.
There's a giant ball rolling
Yep.
down the cave.
The Temple of Poon. Scott, do you think there should be an age limit for trick-or-treating?
Yeah. Yeah. I was just talking about this with somebody. I'm going to say you get your first year in middle school to get it out of your system.
Because somebody asked America, and I have the answer.
Okay.
So I need an answer from you, though.
I'm going to say sixth grade, whatever age that is, sixth grade. You get 1 year in middle school, but that
Sixth
costume
grade.
better be great.
How old is sixth grade?
That's like
Be
10,
12.
11?
So
11 maybe?
11? So 12-year-olds should not be trick-or-treating.
Yeah. You got to hang out on the porch and hand out. That's what your job is now.
And listen, lots of towns have trick-or-treating age limits now, usually around 13 or 14. Like there's a Upper Deerfield Township in New Jersey is in the news after setting their age limit at 12. But somebody asked over 5,000 Americans, how old is too old to trick-or-treat? And most people said somewhere in your teenage years. So the answer that got the most was 13 years old. 13 years old is your final year. That's what America says. 14, no. 15, no. 46, no.
Yeah, you can't have a
Jail.
learner's permit and be trick-or-treating, dude. Come on.
That's what I said. I said like 14 or 15. Once you get your driver's license, once you have your learner's permit,
Then you have a job instead of having fun.
Scott's right. You should be on the porch handing out candy.
That's a good transitional period between doing little kid stuff and doing I'm getting older, now I need to start.
Yeah.
Now you get to hand out the candy to the little kids coming up and scare them on the porch and stuff like that. That's a good
America
transition.
says 14. But if a kid with a nose ring and facial hair shows up at your door and it's not part of their costume, are they getting a Kit Kat?
No. I keep a spray bottle by the door. I just off with you.
Get out of here.
Get away.
Get out of here. Now, there's less of an emphasis on tricking and more on the treating these days. We know that, and that could change if dentists have their way. Of course, leave it up to dentists to be the buzzkill for Halloween. A group of dental surgeons is urging kids not to eat lollipops or sticky sweets to avoid tooth decay. That's a very big ask for Halloween. But they say adults can lend a hand. One dentist suggests that the public can switch back to giving trick-or-treaters things like stickers and Play-Doh instead of candy. Get the hell out of here.
Boo.
That stuff's
There
weird
is-
to eat.
Yeah, there is like Play-Doh, like little trick-or-treat size Play-Dohs that you could get. My kid got some of those when he was little. I was like, hell yeah, buddy. Get those out.
Get them out of here.
Let me smell that Play-Doh.
Get stickers. Get out of here.
It's like the one time a year where it's like, yeah, all the candy you can get and down with it. That's like being like, you should eat healthy on Thanksgiving.
No.
Don't overdo it on Thanksgiving. To a kid, Halloween is like, I get all the candy. This is my day.
Yeah, stickers. Get the hell out of here. Dentist should be like, eat all the sweets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're keeping you in business. Dopes. I thought dentists are supposed to be smart. You want all the kids to eat all the candy. Because they're coming to you to fill those cavities, idiots. Anyway. Now, the candy you hand out, what does it say about you? So agree or disagree. Here's the stuff. If you hand this out, this is what it says about you. Dum-Dums. The Dum-Dum lollipops. It means I'm keeping the Costco bag of nice candy for myself.
True.
Yeah. 100%.
If you're handing out Tootsie Rolls, it says, I want your parents to pay for a new filling. If you're handing out Necco wafers, it says, I'm 1,000 years old.
Darn it.
What do you guys hand out? Do you guys just do? My kids it's just me in the house, man. I do full size Snickers, full size.
Full size
Yeah.
Snickers.
There's not a lot of kids in my neighborhood either, so I'll put I think this year I'm just putting the basket out there with a sign that says "Take one."
That's what I'm going to do.
And it was like last year there was, I don't know, man. I only had like 4 or 5 kids come through my house.
So if you have fun size Snickers, means I'm well-to-do. Full size Snickers means I'm rich. King size Snickers means I'm Elon Musk.
Yeah, this means I'm bad with my money. Really, is what that means.
See, I'm going to have a bad take here. This is going to be a controversial take. So prepare yourself, and I am prepared for the hate that will come my way. But I feel like this day and age, if you're giving out king size whatevers, it's because you really want me to think highly of you. It's more about you than it is about the kids now. The king size bar is for the people that care about being loved. You just want to be loved by your neighbors. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I would think that's more you want to be hated by your neighbors.
To what? Not give out the king size?
Because they're looking at they're looking at every other house like, a dude in the yellow house has got full size. Yeah. What's the matter with everybody else in this stupid neighborhood? Yeah. Second of all, in my defense, like I said, not a lot of kids, and I also like Snickers bars.
Oh, yeah. So it's for you. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
If you're handing out candy corn, that means I hate you. If you're handing out Whoppers, it means I'm out of candy corn, but I still want you to know I hate you. If you're handing out pretzels, it means I missed the point of Halloween.
That means you forgot.
If you're handing out raisins, it means I want you to burn my house down.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're handing out candy corn, just throw them at the kids. It's less of an insult.
If you're handing out condoms, you're getting a visit from the police.
Yes, of course. Do you remember the house you used to go to that used to hand out change?
Yes, I still remember it.
Yep.
Awesome. It was never any good change. You never got quarters.
Oh, we had a guy in our neighborhood, and looking back, there were some signs of possible pedophile on this guy. Looking back, it was an older gentleman who lived alone, confirmed bachelor his whole life. That doesn't mean anything.
He wanted to come back.
He gave out 50-cent pieces. And, dude, we were, like, switching costumes as poor kids. I've talked about this before.
50-cent pieces?
Sure.
Yeah, he gave out, like, 50-cent pieces, which is a lot of money to a kid, you know? So it was like we were switching those little Spider-Man plastic masks with the elastic band that would break 5 seconds after you put it on. And just all like rotating in, going up there with different masks on, trying to, make a couple bucks. And he was pretty giving with it. If you went back up there in a different costume, you could make some. And Tootsie Rolls were a penny at the tavern. I was thinking in Tootsie Roll conversion rates.
I always hated. I always thought Tootsie Rolls was like thanks a lot, dude.
I said that the other day
you
too.
You guys are
I said
lined
no kid. If you put a kid in a candy store and you say you could take anything you want, there's 100 kids. Okay, and there's all the candy you want.
Yeah.
0 kids are going for the Tootsie Rolls.
There's going to be a full bin of Tootsie Rolls.
There's going to be a full bin of Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, but it was straight bulk, brother. It was like the tavern had a little candy
weight
jar. You could have like a candy bar, but those were like 50 cents a piece for one candy bar. Tootsie Rolls were a penny. And they had the strawberry ones, the banana ones, the blueberry ones, and chocolates. So you could get an assortment. You didn't care when you were a kid. You just wanted to be sitting. You just wanted to be loaded down with candy.
Yeah, but Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah. I'm not saying they were great.
Again, if you're in a candy store,
$1 got you 100 pieces of candy, dude.
Scott, you agree with me? If there's a candy store and 100 kids would go, all right, go take whatever you want. Nobody, 0 kids are taking.
I'm
Tootsie
getting
Rolls.
Whoppers before. You know what? Tootsie Rolls are terrible. They stick to your teeth. Even as a kid, I hated them, man. There was nothing like I would like trade those. It was like if I had a bunch of Tootsie Rolls, I was like, I'm gonna find somebody that likes them and trade them for something I like.
Did you ever like the flavored ones? Remember those? Like they came in like blue and white wrappers and some other ones because they were if they were softer, they were okay.
It's a texture thing. But again, if you're talking if they were softer, they were good. There's Starbursts.
Yeah,
Starbursts are already.
You could I used to take the red ones, the strawberry ones, and smush them with the chocolate ones and create a new hybrid.
Okay, I
That's
can see
smart
that being
stuff.
all right.
Tootsie.
That's pretty cool.
Being all right.
Did you guys
I'm
like
gonna
the
try
big
that
Tootsie
this
Roll?
year.
The big ones, remember when they
The big
rolled those out?
logs?
Oh, yeah.
And you know what's weird? I like the
No.
packaging.
Yeah.
I like to peeling the thing off.
They also just look too much like Dookie.
Yeah, look at
They look like a turd.
Gross.
They really
All right,
do.
listen, we gotta take a break.
Stamped poo.
We got to take a break. We'll come back. Let's give away some stuff. Rafe,
Yes.
after the break, what are we going to play?
We're going to play a little game called Slam or Sham.
Slam or sham?
That's right. I have a list of wrestlers and wrestling moves. Some of the wrestlers are real. Some of them are very fake. Some of them are a slam, while some of them are the aforementioned sham. And then I have finishing moves of wrestlers. Some are real. Some are fake.
So we'll mix them up.
We'll mix them up.
All right.
That's
so
2 out of 3.
you win.
You win.
You a wrestling fan, Scott?
Nah. No, but no, absolutely not. I never got into that with a kid. I totally made fun of my friends that did, and it was only like later in life that I started actually having any. Now I watch documentaries about it.
Right.
And I've
watched
seen
Mr.
several
McMahon.
professional wrestlers like live shows, and I'm like, this is really good. And so now I go back and look at that stuff in some kind of weird like. It's not nostalgia. It wasn't a part of my childhood.
I loved wrestling when I was a kid. Loved it. And that Mr. McMahon documentary is wonderful on Netflix. If you are a fan of old school wrestling, even the stuff from the late 90s, 2000s, that's all mentioned in there. It's just a fascinating story. But all right, 2 out of 3 right, you win, and you can use Scott as a lifeline if you want.
Okay, and I want to look at my list then. Let me
Don't show Scott your list.
Don't look, Scotty.
No listing for me.
But what Scott says is binding.
Yeah.
So you go to Scott as a lifeline, but what he says is binding.
It's a lot of power.
314-624-3833, 618-398-3833. We got tickets to go see Ghost, July 30th, Enterprise. We got tickets to go see The Urge the night after Thanksgiving, Friday night, November 29th at the pageant. We got tickets to go see AWOL Nation, a Point Ho Ho show December 10th at the pageant. And we got tickets to go see Franz Ferdinand, Point Ho Ho show December 11th at the pageant. 314-624-3833, 618-398-3833. What are we calling it, Rafe?
Slam or sham?
Next. All right, 8:16, Thursday, traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. We have delays 70 eastbound between 70 and, it looks like St. Charles Rock Road, right at the St. Charles Rock Road. Average speed down to about 30 miles an hour.
Hang on 1 second. Somebody said fresh Tootsie Rolls are great.
I agree.
What fresh?
When you get
fresh?
them fresh,
If you
they're
get a
really
factory
soft.
tour?
Straight out the butt.
If you, either straight at the butt or like I'm at the Tootsie Roll factory, got my mouth under the conveyor belt.
That'd be
If they come-
awesome.
Straight out the unicorn's butt.
If the only way to enjoy them is if they're coming off the conveyor belt warm, then that's not good. It's got to travel.
Product.
I love
There's
them.
such thing as
I
a
love them.
fresh Tootsie.
If you
Tootsie
squeeze
Roll.
it and you can see your fingerprint in it, it's amazing.
Ah, that's a good point.
What?
There were some that if you could, you're right. They were either hard as a brick, or if you could squeeze it and you could see the oil and the fingerprint left behind.
Yes.
Okay,
got a fresh Tootsie.
fine.
Yeah, you just, I mean,
It's like squeezing a melon.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never
just-
thought about that
it's
before.
just random. Like, yeah,
It is random.
There's a ripeness to it.
There is.
And
You got to get
All
a
right,
right
fine.
Tootsie Roll, dude.
The Rizzuto Show on 105.7 The Point.
All right, welcome back to the program. You are listening for the band live. Don't forget, all day long today, the band live. If you hear a live song, the band live, make sure you open up your 105.7 The Point mobile app. My face will be on there. Tap my face. You have a chance to win $1,000, and you have a chance to win a co-hosting position on this show for a day. That's fun. Get up early, just like us. Hang out with the show. I will play a live song at some point this morning, just so you know. Comedian Scott James is here. You can see him at the St. Charles Funny Bone this weekend.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Tomorrow and Saturday. Explain what's going on.
So on top of being a local comedian, I'm also a union floor layer here in St. Louis. Shout out to all my 1310 brothers and sisters. And the Funny Bone lets me do this when I headline there. I was doing it for just 13 members also, but I'm just doing if you show up with a union card, tickets are free. The box office opens at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And let them know you're a union member, and admission is free. I
you
can't
go.
do
Very
anything
cool.
about the drinks, man. That's on you.
That's on you. But getting into
I've
this,
been at enough Christmas parties for contractors that
Yeah.
I know open bar is not a great idea.
no, you don't want the comedy club to go under.
No.
That's a working man's comic right there. I've butchered your joke on this show because it makes me laugh very hard.
Yeah, you
about,
told. Yeah, we're not going to relive it because I think I'm probably going to have to close with that this week. but,
All right,
all right. I'll leave it.
Don't mow his lawn.
I'm not, but it's very funny, and it's about an experience
Yeah.
working in the trades.
Yeah, it's different when you work in people's houses,
What
man.
you find in
It's,
people's homes, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, see Scott James tomorrow and Saturday, St. Charles Funny Bone. Union members, bring your card, get in for free. The drinks are on. You're responsible for your own drinks, though.
Yeah, you get that in your own Uber.
All right. Hey, speaking of free, let's give away some stuff. All right, we're playing a game called Slam or Sham. So Rave's going to read you either the name of a wrestler or the name of a wrestling finishing move.
That's right. We'll start with wrestlers. Some are real, some are fake. If they're real, they're slam. If they're fake, they're sham, baby.
All right, so simple as that, real or fake. You have a chance to win tickets to go see Ghost, The Urge, AWOL Nation, or Franz Ferdinand. 2 out of 3 right, you win. You have a Scott James Lifeline. We're going to throw Moon in there as well because
All
you're a
right.
huge wrestling fan.
That's right.
Either Scott or Moon could be your lifeline. Whatever they say is completely binding, though. So you have to go by whatever they say. All right, 314-624-3833 or 618-398-3833. Let's go to Bobby in Manchester. Bobby!
What's up, fellas?
All right, Bobby, here we go.
What's up, Bobby?
Slam or sham?
All right, Bobby. This is wrestler names. First up, Psycho Santa. Psycho Santa.
Let's go fake on that.
Fake on that. Yes, that is a sham.
That is a sham.
Psycho Santa is made up. Next.
Here we go. Coming up next, Major Mayhem.
Real.
That is made up.
That is a sham, my
That is
man.
a sham. Comes down to this, Bobby.
For the win or the loss, you do have a lifeline. The Blue Meanie.
That is a jam.
That is a slam.
That's a slam.
Is that what you
Jam. Real.
Real. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Bringing a new game.
All right.
Jam.
Bobby, hang on.
It is real.
Slam, real. Sham, fake.
Yes. Jam, never mentioned.
Yeah, we don't
Never
know that
mentioned
one.
once.
Sean in Wood River. Sean, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
All right, here we go. Slam or sham?
Fantastic Frank.
Let's go with sham.
Sham indeed, yes. Next. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Vampiro.
Real. Slam.
Slam.
It is real.
Winner. Hang on.
People know their stuff, man.
All right, let's go to Chris in Lower Arnold. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Lower Arnold.
Yeah, L.A.
Don't
Lower
you-
Arnold.
Don't you associate me with Upper Arnold?
Lower Arnold, is that the classier section of Arnold, or?
It is.
It is, of course.
I feel like if we're doing a wrestling game in Lower Arnold, we should just give this guy the tickets and move on. Here we go. The Golden Gorilla.
That's a slam.
Nope. That's sham. Next.
It's a sham. You're going to have to move out of Lower Arnold if you don't get these next two. The Zodiac.
The Zodiac. That's got to be a slam.
Slam, yes.
And finally,
To make Lower Arnold proud, Chris. Here we go.
El Pollo Loco.
Oh shit.
Oh, we can't say that
Okay,
word.
here
Do
we
not
go.
say the S word.
I think he meant to say.
Can I use a lifeline?
Yes.
Yes.
Either Scott or Moon.
Who would you choose? Scott James or Moon Valjean?
We're gonna go with Moon.
Moon. El Pollo Loco.
Show me sham.
Sham indeed. Sham Moon.
Crazy Chicken
hang on,
is
Chris.
an excellent fast cash LA dining spot.
Yes.
It is not.
Did Lower Arnold proud there.
He did.
Congratulations.
He was hanging on by a thread there at the end.
All right, let's go to Bobby in St. Anne. Bobby!
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing?
All right, so far so good, Bobby. All right, so is this going to be a wrestler or a finishing move?
Let's do one more round of wrestlers, and we'll move to finishing moves.
Here we go.
All right, this is wrestlers, Bobby.
All right.
Nacho Nightmare.
That is the sham.
Sham indeed, yes. Okay.
Although I've been through a nacho, nightmare or two.
We all
Yeah.
have.
Nothing like order nachos, expecting the best, and getting something
Yep.
subpar.
Nacho Nightmare feels like you got 4 Lucha Libre wrestlers in your belly. But... All right, here we go for the win. Mr. Mystery.
I will do King Scott for a lifeline.
King
Scott James. King Scott is not available.
Comedian
Scott James
Scott
is. Comedian
James.
Scott James is.
Scott James.
All right, I will do.
Nope, you have no choice anymore. Bobby, you have to go with Scott James.
Yeah, this is
All right.
binding. Sorry, you chose poorly. I don't have any clue, but I am 100% sure that this is.
What is the name again?
Mr. Mystery.
Oh, that's for real.
Mr. Mystery is fake.
Some fake
Sham comes down to this.
You're on your own. You're out of lifelines. Gilbert.
That is a sham.
No,
Sadly, that is very real.
No way. Is it,
was
really?
they made fun of Goldberg in the WWE and had a wrestler named Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Amazing.
Very real.
I had no idea.
Gilbert the wrestler.
Gilbert.
I
Get
hope
him out
somebody's
here.
keeping track of all the names that were shams. Those are names you can use.
Yeah, what's eating Gilbert grape?
314-624-3833, 618-398-3833. We go to Keeler in St. Louis. Good morning, Keeler.
Hey.
Hey, hey.
All right, Keeler, we're switching it up now. These are wrestlers' finishing moves.
Finishing moves.
i.e., the Stone Cold Stunner or the Tombstone Pile Driver, right?
Yep.
So here we go.
All right.
Slam or sham, is this a real or fake finishing move? The Venus Flytrap.
That is real.
That is
Is a sham indeed.
Sham.
Here we go. The Styles Clash.
Oh, that's real. That's AJ Styles.
We even knew the wrestler.
Dang.
Okay.
That's real now.
Keeler knows the stuff.
All right, Keeler.
Comes out of this, Keeler.
We'll see if he knows the stuff. The Solar Flare Strike.
That's fake.
That is fake indeed. Oh, no, my bad. The wrong thing. Yep, indeed fake. Hang on.
It's fake.
Okay. Let's go to Kelly and O'Fallon. Good morning, Kelly.
Happy Halloween, lovely people.
Thank you, Kelly.
Back at ya.
O'Fallon, Mo or ill?
On the Mo
On
side.
the Mo side, just like our comedian in studio, Scott James. All right, you guys know each other? You know
We're
Kelly?
neighbors.
Yeah, I know Kelly.
Oh, okay. I figure everybody in O'Fallon knows each other.
Wait, Kelly P or Kelly C?
Oh, we do. Oh, Kelly E. Close enough, though.
Close enough. All right, Kelly, here we go. Finishing move, slam or sham?
All right, Kelly E. The Jupiter Jawbreaker.
Ooh. That's a slam. That's real.
No.
Ah.
That is fake.
All right.
Next.
Here we go. From the Jaws of Defeat. The Worm.
That one's got to be real.
And it is real indeed.
Yes,
All
it is.
right.
Scotty Two Hotties. Finishing move. The Worm.
Comes down to
Right.
this.
Finally. The Starlight Sleeper.
So, Moon, can you help me out?
Oh, no.
Moon Valjean. The Starlight Sleeper.
Man, I mean, that sounds like something legit, but I gotta say, I'm gonna go with my gut and say sham.
He says sham.
Sham, and it is a sham.
Congratulations, Kelly.
Yay!
All right.
Thanks, Moon. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
All right, Kelly's a winner. All right, let's do two more here. Dan in Belleville. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Riz.
All right, slam or sham?
All right, here we go, Dan. End of Days.
That is a slam.
Yeah, slam. That's right.
Baron Corbin's finishing move.
Corbin Burnson?
Corbin Burnson's finishing move.
Baron Corbin. I don't know who that is.
Sacha Baron Cohen's finishing move.
Nope.
The guy from Sniper?
Nope.
Tom Berenger's finishing
Berenger?
move.
No.
Matt Berninger, lead singer of the Nationals, finishing move.
Tom Bergeron, host of Dancing with the Stars.
Roger Dorn from Major League?
Prince of Dorne from Game of Thrones, finishing move. Okay, we've gotten off topic here. Good luck. Meteor strike.
I'm going to say sham.
Sham indeed.
Right.
Another winner. All right.
Man knows his wrestling.
All right, one more.
That sounds like a good one from the Natural Disasters. Remember that? Remember that tag team?
What the?
Natural Disasters. It was Earthquake and
Typhoon.
yeah, the guy. One of them used to be Tugboat, and then something else, and then they turned into Natural Disasters.
Yeah. Jim, hello.
Hi.
All right, Jim. Let's play Slam or Sham. Final contestant. Here we go.
Here we go. Hell of a kick.
That is a slam.
Hell of a kick is a slam. Yes. Indeed, okay.
Sami
By
Zayn.
Sheamus.
Finishing move.
Yeah. Well, this guy knows.
Hey, we talked to
All
him
right.
once, didn't we?
Seamus.
Yeah, didn't we have him in the old studio?
So.
Redheaded fella,
Yes.
right?
Redheaded
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
The Stellar Stomp.
That is a sham.
That is a sham indeed. Can't get nothing by Jim.
You
Man,
guys know they're wrestling.
Jim sounds just like hey, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
All right. Well, thank you. We had some winners. We had some losers. I think we all learned something. How about you give our comedian Scott James? Let's see if he can win a pair of tickets to go see Ghost
All
or
right.
The Urge.
Scott, you want to do names or you want to do finishing moves?
I'm going to go with finishing moves.
Finishing moves. All right. Black Mass.
Oh, that's a slam.
This
Okay,
slam.
yes.
Alistair Black. Black Mass. Finishing move. All right, here we go. Nebula Neckbreaker.
I'm going to sham.
You're right.
All
It is.
right,
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to see Ghost, everybody.
All right, give two to Moon.
That's
Give two to
the
Moon.
that's the
Here we go.
finishing move for Brandon from Incubus if he
All right,
decides to be
Moon.
a wrestler.
Attitude adjustment.
Whoa, that's such a cool name. I'm gonna say slam just because I want it to be.
It is.
Oh,
John
nice.
Cena.
John Cena's move.
Attitude adjustment. He does it to all of the special Make-A-Wish kids he visits. Which I think is rude.
Yeah,
John Cena.
but the kids
No,
love
they
it.
love him for it.
Kids love it. Kids love it. He's done more, right? He's done more Make-A-Wish wishes granted than I think anybody in the history of the
Yeah,
organization.
more than anyone. All right, here we go. The Walls of Jericho.
Oh, that's for real. That's slam.
That's a slam.
Slam. Chris Jericho.
You guys sure you don't watch wrestling?
Yeah, I feel like you guys do watch it.
Did we have Chris Jericho in here?
Yeah.
Is
we
that the
had Chris
Fozzy
Jericho.
guy?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was great.
Always try the risotto.
Yes. He made fun of my name, and that's fine. All right, 8:41. We'll do some news next. All right, comedian Scott James is here. You can see him at the St. Charles Funny Bone tomorrow and Saturday. Union members with their union cards get in for free.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's do some news.
Oh, yeah. We gonna do some news.
And your news being sponsored by.
Energy Stars Heating and Cooling. Look to the stars and schedule your fall maintenance today.
So, marijuana use among kids, teens, up or down over the past 10 years? Higher or lower? Over the past 10 years, marijuana use amongst teenagers, higher or lower?
I'm going to say
I
down.
know it. Yeah, it's got to. I think now that it's so available, it's down.
I'm going to say lower. There's
Not
no street
exciting.
cred to it.
Well, that would be the argument for it being higher. Would be, hey, now it's legal in a lot of places. Now it's easily accessible.
I think that's why it happened a few years ago and spiked, and naturally it's gone down since
Yeah,
the spike.
I also think it's something they probably view it as like, oh, that my parents do that. That's nerd stuff, man.
Rafe, what do you
Good
say?
point.
Probably down, but I'll say up. Let's say up.
You're saying up, huh?
That's
Why not?
positive.
Get up.
And Rafe, you are wrong. Because marijuana use amongst teens has declined over the past 10 years, but new research says that girls are now using it more than boys.
My kids said the same thing. They feel like fewer people at school talk about it or do it, but it's the girls.
It's the girls.
Really?
Yeah, now a recent study shows that despite concerns that state-level pot legalization might lead to increased use among teenagers, usage is actually going down. So the study analyzes marijuana use trends among teens from 2011 to 2021. These are high school students, grades 9 through 12. Overall, they sampled almost 90,000 kids. And during the time, reported marijuana use among teens showed a significant decline. Now, the portion of teens who had ever tried marijuana decreased from 39.9% in 2011 to 27.8% in 2021. That's a lot. With that big of a sample, that's a lot. And the percentage of kids who reported using pot in the past 30 days dropped from 23.1% to 15.8%. Likewise, there was also a reduction in the percentage of students who first used pot before the age of 13. Now, among racial groups, black teenagers reported the highest marijuana use, while Asian teenagers reported the lowest.
Are they doing something different? Or, you get what I'm saying? Are they just replacing it with a different, drug or high or whatever?
Now
or they're just not. They're
Squares,
just,
man.
Yeah, they're just dorks.
dorks.
Is what you're saying? Teenagers now?
They didn't go into what they're replacing it with. We could, let our minds run wild.
I'm sure studying and
studying and
going to
learning.
Church, yeah.
Get church going. Yeah, probably.
Anti-anxiety medication.
Yeah, that could have something to do with it too, because there's just more like I don't know, like mood stabilizing things that are just like openly prescribed.
Well, because they're saying like cigarette smoking is way down among kids. Now marijuana use is down among kids.
Zero chance for them to look cool in pictures.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, another thing that I think might be actually going into this, because I was trying to think, because my kids mentioned this a couple months ago. The big difference I see between the boys and the girls right now is girls are still hanging out. Like, my daughter's always hanging out with friends. Dudes do not. Dudes do not hang out like we used to hang out.
And this is exactly what they said in the study.
Oh, really?
The fact that the most notable trend is girls are more likely than boys to use marijuana, reversing the earlier trend back in 2011 when the boys were more frequent users, and they're saying girls are more social and hang out together more than the boys now.
Yeah, that's what's happening in our house. It's like clear
So-
as day.
less chance for peer pressure if you're not hanging out. I mean, and it is like smoking and stuff like that is like a social. I mean, that's the only
social
reason I
thing.
started doing it is because everybody I worked with was.
It's just pot is
Pass
social
the
drug.
grass, man. Pass the grass.
So it's wild. What are they replacing it with?
It's still down,
Improving their soccer and football skills.
It's still down.
even amongst. I think they're replacing it. I honestly, I think I may have said this before, but I wrote a sketch a long time ago about like what nursing homes would be like in 2075 when everyone's Meemaw and Peepaw were named Skylar and Mercedes. And we have pushed the pendulum so far, like Gen X and the just like staying cool, man, that like for kids, there's nothing to the left of us for them to rebel about anymore. So now they have to be straight edge to rebel.
Yeah, maybe there's nothing. Maybe they're not
gonna have
replacing
to
it with
go-
anything.
They're gonna have to go full blown like Christian.
Exactly. Like it used to be like, you come home to like a Gen X parent and be like, I'm joining 4-H. No son of mine. No son of mine's joining. I'm going to vacation Bible school, Dad. Deal with it.
Is that a purity ring I saw under your pillow?
Walking around. I don't know how to connect with this kid, Darlene. You're like smoking a J in the living room. Like, he's wearing a purity ring. He's talking about.
No,
Where
son
did we
of mine
go
is gonna
wrong?
be-
Where did we go wrong?
Exactly, dude. I literally think that plays into it a little bit. Like, it is, I'm joking, but there's a 10% of truth in there where I think the kids, like, parents stayed cool too long. Like, our generation's tried to keep it cool, man, when they're listening to vinyl still. Like, we smoke J's in this house, man.
Or we could be all wrong, and they could be doing something we don't even know about.
It could be.
That's true.
No,
Somebody says Molly and Adderall.
I talk to my kid about this stuff all the time, and especially at his kid. There's just nothing to rebel against, man. It was just always very laid back in my house. It was like, just talk to me about whatever. But yeah, he's just like, and he's at college. He's in a dorm, and I'm like, so what do you guys like do when you party or whatever? And he's like, the dorks I hang out with, we just hang out. That's it. Like, he had his first edible experience last year, his freshman year, and he was like, "Yeah, it's just not for me." I'm like,
what's wrong with you? Where did I go wrong?
Yeah, it's not for anybody, but you keep doing it to be cool. That's how we all became addicts.
Well, these days we escape the VBS.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to take a drink of beer and love it. You're supposed to hate it and pretend to love it so you don't look like a dork until eventually it's the only thing that takes the edge off at the end of the day.
yeah, you power through until you are able to talk
Until
to
you're
girls.
addicted,
That's how I did it.
Exactly.
God, what is wrong with kids?
I don't know. Well, also, is it dangerous sign of if boys aren't hanging out with anyone? Like, is that a bad sign for our society and everything?
I don't think it's very good. Yeah.
Well, they're
That
playing
doesn't seem
Minecraft.
healthy.
Everybody's
Well,
going
that's
in
healthy.
Minecraft.
What's wrong with that?
Well, they do more online anyway, so I think it's
That's how they hang out.
My kid's like that. Like, I had to tell him, like, you should go hang out with you. Like, when he comes back home, he's like won't hang out with his high school best friend. And I'm like, why don't you? He's not that far away. Why don't you go hang out? And he's like, no, we text.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That ain't.
Yeah, they're on their headsets downstairs on the PlayStation.
Well, my son doesn't. My son doesn't game, but I always say like, "Hey, why don't you go hang out?" I was like, "Because I hung out with him in school." He's like, he's filling his quota there, and he's like, "I don't need to afterwards." I'm
Yeah.
like, I thought that's weird, dude. He gives me the dad. Everything doesn't have to be like your life, man.
I don't want your life. You got varsity blued and
He does that. And I'm like, it always frees. He knows he has a weapon there, and I'm always like, that's not what I'm trying,
you
man.
got Vanderbeek, dude. I don't want your life.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible to do like something relatively cool? Like my son could not care less that I do comedy.
Oh,
I've gotten to
yeah.
perform
Yeah.
in front of him
Kids
several
don't
times,
care.
and I was like, no, it was a fun show, Dad. Good job.
Well, you're
Get out
lucky you
there.
got that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have the talk with my kid to get out there and smoke some pot, boy.
Listen, it's for your own good. Instead of getting caught smoking and making them smoke a whole pack, you're making them start that way.
Yeah.
You didn't smoke today?
Hey, if I come
Get out behind
upstairs,
the barn.
if I come
Smoking
upstairs,
this
you better be smoking.
Yeah, these kids are Scotty Smalls, and I can't get them to go. I'm just like hoping they find the Sandlot, and they don't.
Yeah.
And they're not interested in the Sandlot, and they even know the Sandlot exists, and they're just like, "Oh, I'm cool, Dad."
It better smell like skunk weed when I get up there.
I better find some seeds and stems in your pants pocket, young man. It's even the thing about the driving thing. We've covered that before. Like, so many kids, they're not like chomping at the bit anymore to turn 16 and hit the road. Like, a lot of people aren't getting their license till their 20s, and I'm like, I couldn't imagine a world where you kept me out of a car.
My
But
son
it's-
doesn't drive.
People don't want
Oh, really? See, my
He
daughter.
doesn't have to. When he's back, like, I'll take. Well, that's probably my fault for catering to him. But it also is like when he's back home. Sometimes taking him to work or whatever is like just
Does
when
he
we
have
get
a
to hang
license?
out. He's got a learner's permit.
My
I'm gonna say
kid has a learner's permit.
it's not all my fault. It's not all my fault. I'm gonna put some of this on the ex-wife. I'm gonna put a lot of it on the ex-wife also.
You got nothing to lose.
I work a lot, okay? But yeah, he also doesn't need to. There's Uber and there's whatever. You can just get
There's
around without
also
it.
the independence of driving.
Yeah, but isn't there? And also, there's a little bit of like, some dude shows up and picks me up and takes me where I need to go.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
that? And I've heard this.
Sure.
There are statistics about this where it's actually like more cost effective instead of paying for a car and the insurance and all that stuff. Just
Can't
Uber
put a
where you
price
need
on
to go.
Freedom.
True.
But it is kind of weird to have a stranger
That's
take
right.
you
I said Freedom.
have a stranger take you to a campsite whenever you want to go camping
Yeah.
for the weekend, and they have to drive you there. And you're
Or
all
have
by
a
yourself.
stranger pick you up and also pick your date up.
Yeah.
You basically have a chaperone at this point.
Well, if it's a date, you go for like the high class Uber or whatever.
Black.
Uber X.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Hey, be careful what you wish for, though. My 16-year-old, the hour. I mean, since the hour she got her license, it's been a different. I would say a different relationship. Like, she is gone all the time. Wants to be gone all the time. Like, and we've always been very close, and we're still very close. I'm not taking anything away from that, but we'll just say that since she got her license, I haven't seen her like I want to see her.
Are you just constantly like?
I am crying on the inside. I'm being serious about that. It sucks.
Did
It
you,
sucks.
You teach her to drive?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, we split the duties. But yeah, I was super adamant about making sure she's safe. I'm staying on it. You know, she's supposed to text me when she leaves, when she gets places, and all that kind of stuff. But dude, like, it's a different relationship for sure. So be careful what you wish for.
Dude, but his kid's in college.
Yeah,
I know.
My
I'm
son
just saying.
does his best, man. But sometimes I am like, it's probably for the best because he gets out on the road and there's certain things where like, all right, you're doing this pretty good, you're doing this pretty good. And then I was starting to have him drive home from work at night. And it was like it's like starting from ground zero. He just didn't know what to make of it.
You just power through it.
I was like, buddy,
teach him.
The lines are glowing. I mean, how can you not stay in the lines? Like, he was doing some wild stuff.
I mean, Mom and Dad are going to drink too much one night, and we're going to call you to come pick us up. This is the only reason you're getting your license. And by the way, Brad brings up a great point. You know, kids are not hanging out with older kids anymore, or like somebody's brother who introduced you to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always somebody's older brother that introduced it.
Yes.
That introduced you to.
Older brothers are a linchpin of society, a cornerstone of watershed moments in a kid's life. They turn into cool uncles.
Yep.
Our older cousin is basically he was our older brother. He was our entire education. And when he passed away, just before he turned, like the day before he turned 18, since then, I'm pretty sure Scott and I haven't learned a thing. Like,
No.
I mean, we were lost.
I learned how to
teenagers
chew
after that.
tobacco. I learned how to smoke. I learned,
Yeah, I mean, everything we knew as idiot teenagers came from this guy. He was our guru.
But even driving, we drove.
Yeah, we
his
stole
parents would
grandma's
leave,
car.
We'd take the car out and just drive.
Yeah, he was 14 and we were like 11, and we were driving. Well, I'm serious. We were driving grandma's.
At the time, though, didn't he?
He was, man. He was. He's the one. It was his idea to steal the car, and we thought, well, it's his. He's gonna get in trouble.
He's older.
And
He's smarter
and he'll
than
keep
us.
us safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, nowadays you go out behind an old high school in the woods, dude. There's a bunch of listless older brothers wandering around, showing each other stacks of porn.
Yeah.
No, they got nobody to guide. They got nobody to mentor. It's just a sad scene out there.
I was fearlessly prepared for life.
They're just twisting each other's nipples.
Because of the older cousin.
They're on an island of misfit older brothers with nothing to do. Nobody.
It's cool uncles and older brothers just hanging out all day, teaching each other.
Nobody to
cuss words,
influence.
telling dirty jokes to each other. Like, I already heard. I told you that joke.
It's crazy you think about that, or you said that, because I do think about that. Like, man, I think if Samuel was around, my kids would be cooler. If Samuel was around, he would be doing the things that I want my kids to know that I can't as a dad teach them. I wish, Uncle Samuel was around to teach my kids the crap that he would have taught them.
Boys, I hate to say that this is a small business incubator, but I think we just came up with a business.
Oh, instead of Big Brothers, it's
Rent an Uncle. It's just like we show up at your house and we make your kids cool. It's an app instead of Uber. It's Unker, and you just come, you hit, it's a certain amount of money. We just show up and we're just like, hey, you guys go out for the night. I'll take it from here.
Yeah.
By the time you get home, your kids have had a cigarette. They've
smoked a joint.
Playboy.
They've lived a life.
Things are going well. They've had a little bit of Seagram's, a little bit of that bumpy. Don't worry, I brought the bumpy. You're going to find out what the bumpy is tonight, my friend. I'm telling you what, dude, that could be a booming business.
Yeah,
We get
Cuncle.
sponsored by Zen.
Cool Uncle, Cuncle.
Cool.
Sponsored by
Cuncle.
Zen, yes.
You on Cuncle, dude?
Yeah, see you in KL.
Hit me at
Cuncle.
Now, who for this business model? Who's reaching out? Is it these
Parents
kids
are.
that
The
know
parents are.
they-
It's
it's
usually a
parents.
dad.
Yeah, you have to
It's
be
usually a dad.
Yeah, you have to be a parent to subscribe.
Only dads could be on this.
It's a monthly. It's a subscription.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like something mothers are going to go for.
No, mom's not going to go for this.
Well, whatever.
Dad's old, like, oh my God, my son. I'm embarrassed to tell my kids at the shop about, my kid. We got to cool him up a little bit.
He's up in his room playing online chess, and we got to get somebody over here stat.
Yeah. Cuncle.
You're going to learn to drive a stick, my man, tonight. What? What's a stick? I'm scared of a stick. Yeah. You won't be after tonight. Mm-hmm. Guess what? I'm a whole fifth of Banana Red Mad Dog deep. I couldn't drive if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you what, man, there's trademark. Copyright.
What is that about this?
I want to put this out there in case someone tries to steal this idea from us. Cuncle has been trademarked in this room. I don't know if it's legally binding. I'm writing it on a piece of paper. I'm going to have Scott James sign off on it.
Yeah. He's a notary.
As
Initials.
an official O'Fallon.
Well,
notary.
I'm an ordained minister, and I think this
Good.
counts.
The cool Uncle ad.
Initials.
You want your kid to
Yes.
drive at 15
Yeah.
illegally? Call the cool Uncle.
Exactly.
Call the cool uncle.
You want your kid to put on a fake mustache and try to score a keg from Friar Tuck's?
Cuncle.
Does the cool uncle teach the kid to get ask your older brother to buy you beer? Is like, look, actually,
The
that's
cool uncle's
totally
trying to
illegal
get
for
you
me.
beer.
But you got to ask your older brother.
I don't know. There's a long line of legal underneath the subscription
It's
box.
a lot of waivers to sign.
Is it
lot of
illegal if it's an
waivers.
older brother, right?
A lot of fine print.
Speaking of cool, Crocs.
Yeah.
The coolest.
Always cool.
Crocs are being banned from schools across the U.S. now. Safety concerns.
They're too stylish.
Yep. A growing number of school districts are now banning Crocs due to safety concerns. Can somebody tell me what the concern is?
They're slippery.
They don't put them in the full sport mode.
It
Are
is.
they
Slide off.
slippery? I've never had them.
It is
Wet
bu- it is-
schools, wet tile floors, slippery.
It is bullies beating them up for wearing them.
For real.
No,
Oh, darn it.
What?
That's what the problem should be.
because kids are tripping all over themselves. Kids are wearing them. Turns out, slip-on sandals not the most secure form of footwear.
Okay, this is just a
Who coulda
Croc
guessed
hater. This is a Croc hater who just put that into the print to pass the law.
These are school districts across Florida and Georgia and across the U.S.
Oh,
are
classy places.
Kids are full of boundless energy, constantly bouncing off the walls, running when they shouldn't be. Well, now instead of securely fastened sneakers, they're bound that are bound to a kid's feet with tightened shoelaces. They're wearing shoes that seem to almost specifically be designed to get blasted off the second they encounter tricky terrain.
Yeah, but who's that hurting, man? Like, listen,
That flimsy little backstrap is not going to save you.
yeah, we all know that. So who's this hurting? Let them. This is survival of the fittest. If that's how you're going to show up to this fight, then let them show up to this fight like that.
Not to
Let it
mention-
happen. Let the slips. Oh, you broke your ankle?
The
You
fact
broke
that
your ankle.
Crocs offer little in the way of, arch support, have almost no moisture wicking ability, making your feet stink, blisters.
Survival of the fittest.
Sure, the Crocs might be comfortable, but on the feet of an energetic middle schooler, it's an incident waiting to happen. Get him out of here.
Somebody put, does your child wear Crocs? Call Cuncle today.
Yeah, that's an early warning sign.
No, we got to get you some boots that zip up the back, brother.
Cuncle
You can't be
intervention.
wearing those, man.
And finally, in your news, there's been an epidemic of people stealing cooking oil in the town of Eureka.
Our Eureka.
Our Eureka. The cooking oil that restaurants use, it's a hot commodity, guys.
This is for what? The biodiesels?
Yeah, so there was a thing out in Eureka. Recently, a thief stole used cooking oil from containers outside of 4 restaurants. Super Smokers, China King, Emo's, and the Lion's Choice.
Oh, holy smokes. So that's right around that on that 444 outer road.
Yeah, the total amount stolen was about 258 gallons, valued at about $1,000.
Holy cow.
But think about how heavy that's not a good heist. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's a lot of, and it's only $1,000,
Yeah, for 258 gallons of cooking oil is heavy.
right? That's a lot of. Honestly, they're probably upside down on this heist by the time they go get it and move it to wherever they need to.
So most restaurants contract with the company to pick up the used oil. They recycle it, sell it as biodiesel fuel. It's valued at roughly the same price as standard diesel, like standard diesel fuel. And KSDK did a whole article about this. The head of security for the major cooking oil recycler in the area, Ace Grease Service, they said used cooking oil theft is a problem nationwide, and it costs the recycling industry about $40 million a year.
Dang.
He says there are several groups working in St. Louis. They're trying to track as many of them as they can. They're working with cops to help stop them. Eureka police detectives were able to pull surveillance camera video of a thief driving off with cooking oil from Super Smokers.
Dang.
Detective used their license plate reader cameras, and I guess they got who it was.
Man, I got to say, I remember, and I don't remember what year this was or how old I was. I was definitely young. Probably mid-'90s, early 90s, when they first, it was like a 2020 episode or a Dateline, and they first talked about biodiesel. And they're like, listen, he gets it from, he's got a deal with this restaurant, and he takes it and converts it into this, and the exhaust smells like French fries. And I remember hearing that line and thinking, holy crap. Of all the stuff that was going on around me technology-wise, I thought, that is the coolest freaking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. You telling me that the neighborhoods in just a couple years are going to smell like French fries everywhere I go? The world is cool. I'm so happy to be alive right now.
I had a buddy that converted his car over to it.
I remember hearing that, and you know, on 2020
French
and
fries.
whatever else, they say that, and they make it seem like this is the future. Here it comes. And I just thought, what a thing! I can't wait. One of the biggest letdowns of my life is that my neighborhood does not smell like French fries.
No, but listen, apparently this used cooking oil is a hot commodity.
I didn't, because whenever this first started and people were converting their cars over, it was free. Like, restaurants like, yeah, come and grab it, whatever. And it was like a really cool deal.
They got to pay to get rid of it.
Yeah.
They got to pay to get rid of
But
it.
now they're making money out of it.
And now people are stealing it. So
Surprise, surprise.
All right, listen, that's your news. And remember, all day long, you're supposed to be listening for what band?
Live.
If you hear the band live, get out your Point Mobile app, open it up. My face is going to be on there. You click my face, you have a chance to win $1,000, and you have a chance to co-host the show. All right, here's a real-life scary story for you. Headline, man kept father's decomposing body in freezer to avoid losing home. So a guy in Arizona kept his dad's body stored in a backyard freezer for years because he didn't want to lose the house. I guess the house was under the dad's name. Dad died.
Yeah, the headline's a little misleading, too. Was it a decomposing body if it's in a freezer?
Well,
I mean,
I don't think the freezer was on.
Oh.
It was just a
Yuck.
box.
Whoops.
It was a heater.
Yeah.
They made dad's soup. Ugh.
Well, there's a couple elements of this story that got my attention. Obviously, you know, putting your dead body or your dad's dead body in the freezer, that'll do it. But so officers, I guess they got a tip from somebody that this guy, Daniel Hill, was keeping his father's body in a stand-up freezer behind the house. How'd they get the tip? Like, that's question number one. Like,
It's got to be kids playing around and they're like, "Ooh, open up this old fridge."
so the dad died 4 years ago.
Holy smokes, man. To be honest, though, if you're a kid and you come across some random fridge, are you not opening it? Of course you are.
Well,
Yeah, kids today are not playing outside enough. There's probably bodies all over the places in stand-up freezers that are
you know what's
just
great?
coming
So
unchecked.
we had a buddy who went into like the hoarder houses,
Oof.
Yeah, his rule.
and the rule is do not open up the fridge.
Yeah.
Like that was one like hard and fast rule was if you go into these hoarder houses, just take the fridge and just throw it out. Don't
You just
open
wrap it up with
wrap
tape
it up
and you
and throw it out.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what's going on inside there.
Yeah.
So I guess the cops got a tip. They went to this guy's house. He's like, no, you can't look at the freezer in the backyard.
There's probably flies. You know what I mean? They probably didn't have to look very hard. Like, I can smell him. I can smell it from over here, and there's like a swarm of flies hovering around the thing.
Like, hey, where's your dad? No, nobody's seen him for 4 years. And can we inspect the freezer in their backyard? He said, no, and I'm not telling you.
It was a stand-up freezer? That's the other weird part. Like, if it was one that, like, you could just dump the body in, that's one thing. But at some point, wouldn't it? I don't know, man. I'm seeing the thing, like, crack
What kind of
open.
freezer are you seeing? I see like a
chest.
A chest of
like
freezer, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So investigators looked into like the dad, and they're like, "There's no record of his death." The dad was listed as the owner of the house. Social Security checks and benefits were going to the house. Detectives wound up getting a search warrant, and when they got to the house, the son was like, "Yeah, there's going to be something in the freezer." Yep. So once in the backyard, detectives removed a tarp, 2 moving blankets, several layers of saran wrap, bed sheets, 2 ratchet straps, and multiple layers of duct tape from the freezer. So this thing was sealed up pretty good.
All right.
And presumably a couple like car air fresheners too. I hope something.
I mean, he had a pretty good. He had
As
a pretty
good as
wrapped
any
up.
Hoosier could. I
Yeah,
suppose.
that's
Again.
not bad.
Tarp, 2 moving blankets, several layers of saran wrap, bed sheets, 2 ratchet straps,
I think he did
duct
all,
tape.
But why not, at that point, why not just get rid of the freezer? You know what I'm saying? Like, why keep the freezer there at all? Why
know.
not just
Throw the
take
freezer
it and dump
out.
it? Right.
You know.
We never know. He might come
On
back.
large item trash day, you just put it
bulk.
out there, and now somebody
Bulk.
else is dealing with it.
Yeah,
So
we don't know what day one plan was. You know, maybe he had some other sort of plan for this. And
You think this was like this very dynamic situation, a lot of moving parts?
Oh.
You know, we're going to figure it out
but
as we
Moon,
go.
I do know what day one plans were.
Oh, okay,
I
please.
actually have info on literally day one.
does it line up with
Well, here's what happened.
year 4?
So the detectives wind up opening this thing up, and they described it as skeletal remains and, quote, an extensive amount of biological matter.
Wow.
So he probably, like, liquefied.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at that point, you're pus.
4 years. So after being read his Miranda rights, the son was like, all right, here's what happened. You want to know what happened? Here's what happened. Dad took his last breath at the house more than 4 years ago. He didn't report the death because he was not on the deed to the house and was afraid of losing the home. Okay. He said after his dad died, the next day he bought the freezer. He was planning to bury him on a plot of land he bought. However, there was a fire at the property. He lost power, so he eventually brought the freezer back home. So I guess he put Dad in the freezer, took it somewhere, planning to bury it. Wherever he was, they lost power. He brought the freezer back home and just put it in the backyard.
I'll get to it.
But what was he going to tell people about his dad? And is this an adult son? Is this like
He's 51.
50? Okay, let's still live at home. I got it. I see that's maybe where I'm going to put my son on the deed to my house just in case. But also, like, what was he going to tell people about where his dad was? He went out for cigarettes
And never came back.
4 years ago.
He could have played it off to the
my dad left when I was 51.
So
Man,
Doc-
I'm wondering if it was I mean, in his mind, like, I'll bring it back to the house because at least I can know where it is, rather than leaving it somewhere where if somebody found it, they would assume he was murdered.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
in the
assume
middle of a field.
If I
Yeah.
opened up something and there was some bones in there, I'm assuming some cat got tossed in here
Yep.
and locked in until he suffocated
Or
and
it
he was
was really
killed.
good hide and go seek.
Documents said
That
the
was what I was
freezer had been in the backyard without power. They said without power
Well, power. Plug it in, dude. What are you thinking?
for 4 years.
Right? Yeah. And what does one do?
I'm upset he didn't play it off just like sitting on the steps at 51 with like a ball glove and a bat. Like, your dad said he was going to pick me up.
Hey, just to quickly
Just making his dad look bad, you know?
quickly explain yourself. He said that the dad took his last breath in the house.
Yeah,
How so?
that's what they're trying to figure out.
Oh, okay. So they are looking into this.
They are
like,
looking
man,
into,
how do
well-
you figure out if a 4-year-old corpse died naturally?
Right now, he was charged with one count of failure to report a death and one count of concealing a dead body. They're trying to figure out how he died.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you know Dad's soup is back there, you have to assume that someday this is going to come to light.
Yeah.
Probably during your lifetime, and it's going to look mighty suspicious.
I'll figure it out tomorrow. And
It
then
must be a really nice house if the extent he's willing to go.
I
just
have
to
a
keep the
feeling this
house.
is not a nice
Yeah.
house.
What?
I like
Can you
King's
picture a
idea.
junkyard?
Honestly, man, I think you hit it, dude. Like,
What's that?
As they cut the ratchet straps, duct tape, saran wrap, unhinge the deadbolt off of the freezer, he's like, well, you win, Dad. We're hide and seek champion. He's good. He's good. Fellas, thank you for helping me find him.
How
You know,
did he
like,
get the ratchet straps on
lean
there?
in.
Yeah. He's incredible.
I mean, he's
He
like
was-
freaking Houdini, man.
Listen, my dad was going for a record.
The ratchet straps,
He's
that's
good.
Call
dude.
Guinness.
And I've looked every single day, guys. I'm not playing around. I'm out here.
All right, Rafe, ready for sports?
Yeah, why
Here
not?
we go.
This is going to get intense, Scott. I apologize in advance.
All right. Your music. Here we go. Okay.
That's right. It's time for the Rizzuto Show Super Important Sparks Repart. Whammo! Welcome back to the SISR. I am your Swami, Rafe the Werewolf Williams. Let's get hyped. First up, camel jumping. That's right, folks. It was the camel jumping championships where competitors see how far they can leap over actual camels. Think of it like a high jump, but the bar could kick you in the face. Yusuf the Desert Rocket Al-Hassan was today's big name, clearing 3 camels with ease, much to the shock of the camels who've just seen about everything at this point. But the real jaw-dropper, Omar Erbudain Karim, who soared over 4 camels before his foot clipped the hump on the 5th. He may have gone down, but he went down in history and probably straight to the chiropractor. Omar takes the title. Camels take the day off. What? Bam! World Series Game 5's recap hot enough to melt the bases. The Los Angeles Dodgers wrapped up their 2024 season in style, taking down the Yankees 7-6 in a nail-biting finish to claim their first World Series title since the long drought of 2020. But let's be real, the Yankees had this game in their grip until a defensive meltdown that was right out of a horror movie. Up 5-0 early, the Yankees were riding high on back-to-back homers from Aaron Judge and Jazz Chisholm in the first inning. But the clutch RBI by Alex Verdugo. Yankees ace Garrett Cole seemed to be in cruise control. That is, until everything came unraveled. Midway through, the Dodgers came charging back, led by MVP Freddie Big Teeth Freeman, who sparked the rally that turned the Yankees dugout into a pressure cooker. A couple of fielding errors, including a bobbled play at second, cracked the Yankees' defense wide open, allowing the Dodgers to inch closer to sacrifice flies from Mookie Betts and Gavin Lux. And in the bottom of the 8th, the Yankees' bullpen couldn't contain the fury of the Dodgers' hitters, and the unexpected 2-run blast from Teoscar Hernandez, probably said that wrong, sealed the fate of the Yankees and sent L.A. into a frenzy. The ghost of Fernando Valenzuela haunted the Yankees' gloves, and Polo Asensio had an erection lasting longer than 4 games. Seek medical help, Polo! And here's the final call from Fox.
All right, here we go. I can only play one piece of audio.
All right, here we go.
Start the party, Los Angeles!
Next up, rev up for lawnmower racing. That's right. It's the Grand Prix of the Grass, where competitors customize their lawnmowers to reach speeds that will have you questioning every life decision. Bobby Mo Money Mo Problems Jenkins took on Billy the Blade Turner in the no-holds-barred lap of doom. Bobby started strong, zipping through the... What's playing in the background? I have no idea. Bobby started strong, zipping through the corners like a suburban dad on a caffeine high, but Billy was on his heels, mowing down the competition one blade at a time. In the final lap, Bobby's engine sputtered, giving Billy the opening he needed to pull ahead and take the win. Billy celebrated by cutting the victory lap of his neighbor's hedges in record time. Who knew mowing was this intense? What? Moving on. The Cardinals hired Brown and John Jay as coaches. Lure Serfilio away from the Guardians in a front office role. Willie McGee. Willie Long Neck McGee has been to the Cardinals coach since 2018. Will transition into a role as special assistant of John Mozeliak, who will not be there next year. So why the hell are they doing that? Nobody knows. What? Moving on. The Blues, they play tonight in Philly. What? Moving on again. And now, hang 10 with dog surfing. That's right. The sport we all have been waiting to hear about. Down in SoCal, the Dog Surfing International Championships took place where the good boys and girls hit the waves of the tail-wagging power that only canines can bring. Who was today's top dog? None other than Bark Wahlberg, a golden retriever with a little more balance than half of the human surfers on the beach. He faced off against Paula Abdul, that's Pawla, a Jack Russell Terrier who could pivot on a dime and catch a wave like she was born with fins. In the final round, Bark pulled off a 360 spin that sent the crowd into a frenzy, and Paula chasing her tail. Bark took the title, proving that when it comes to surfing, all dogs don't go to heaven. Bark Wahlberg, top dog of the surfing world. What? Next up, the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs acquired pass rusher Josh Yuki from the New England Patriots for a 2026 sixth-round draft pick on Monday, giving them one of NFL's best defenses, an upgrade at the position that was looking for some help. Tonight, Texans versus the Jets at MetLife Stadium at the AFC clash that could be a spectacular defensive battle as these two top 10 defenses go head-to-head. The Texans sitting at a 6-2 record, led by rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud. He's not a rookie. I don't know why I put that in there. Who's been impressive in the pocket but struggled on the road recently, tossing just 86 yards against Green Bay and 191 against New England. Goes up against the 2-6 Jets. And Aaron Ayahuasca Rodgers, who will win? Who knows? It's a quarterback trick-or-treat challenge on Thursday Night Football. Make sure and make your picks. This is where we start our comeback against the fast lane. That's it. What? I'm going to pass out. This has been the Super Important Spot Report.
All right, thank you, Rafe. One final break. We'll come back, wrap her up.
Yeah.
All right, that is it for us. Donnie Fandango is next. First off, I want to thank Scott James for hanging out all morning.
Thanks for having me, man.
See him at the St. Charles Funny Bone tomorrow and on Saturday. And union workers, bring your union card, get in for free.
Absolutely.
What else you got going on?
You can paying for a kid in college, and you can follow me on Instagram at ScottyJames81. I got to move some of these tickets, man. I don't sell merch or anything.
Move the tickets. Go to the show. Go to the show. All right, we do have to shout out the different companies on our hats for their very generous donations to Cardinal Glen. And I'll start with my hat. Ella and Ollie Popcorn, St. Louis, locally grown popcorn for your home popcorn experience, providing the highest quality popcorn varieties with unique seasonings, oils, and poppers. Visit their website, EllaOlliePopcorn.com. Moon.
Case and Bucks, we love the food and the atmosphere over at Case and Bucks in Barnhart, Missouri, where families and sports enthusiasts come together for great food, entertainment, and experiences. Visit their website, caseandbucksbarnhart.com, caseandbucksbarnhart.com. Thank you.
King Scott.
Alpha Pet, spelled ALFA, has been a cat care business for more than 30 years, and they patented the flat bottom liner and flat bottom sitting liner for your cat litter needs, and they have odor and moisture absorbing crystals for the litter box too. Go to alphapetco.com. There we go.
Rafe.
Victory Men's Health, who have been single-handedly turning me into the bionic man over the last year, empowering you to live optimized in memory and support of our wonderful friend Jeff Burton. Visit victorymenshealth.com.
All right, don't forget to check out the clip of the day brought to you by Michael's Flooring, and check out the Face the Music competition we're doing. All the details at 1057thepoint.com. But when you hear the band live today, please open up your Point Mobile app. You click on my face. I promise you it's going to work this time. And you have a chance to win $1,000, and you have a chance to co-host the show with us for one morning. All right, Moon, what else?
December 7th, Punk Rock Christmas. We have a lot of cool new stuff in the store, including some new songs, some new originals that we just wrote and we're going to put out in the next couple of weeks. But get your tickets now. There's a 3 p.m. show, 8 p.m. show, both family friendly. But the 3 p.m. one will obviously be a little bit more governed towards the families, and the 8 p.m. one will be a little bit louder, a little bit more rowdy. But either way, both are family-friendly and going to be so much fun. Punk Rock Christmas, thepageant.com, December 7th, thepageant.com.
Scott?
Get tickets to see some comedy with Scott. So go out there tonight or this weekend.
This weekend.
Sorry.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That's nice, Scott. Rafe?
Follow me at I am Rafe Williams on all of the socials, and go to St. Charles Funny Bone to see Scott James. Here are your openers.
Enzo Nitty going to be
Stetson.
opening the show, and a guy named Stetson Banks
There
from
you go.
Arkansas.
That's
both hilarious, both friends of mine.
Great
That's the best-
show.
That's the best name I've
Yeah,
heard.
that is
in years.
awesome, especially from Arkansas. That's a
Yeah,
legit
commands
man.
respect.
So go see him this weekend at St. Charles.
Scott, what's the podcast title?
Today's podcast title is Rent an Uncle, Call Cuncle.
Okay. We leave you with a selection from our Teamers Member of the Day, brought to you by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill from Peevely, Missouri. Joe Ham is
Yeah,
our
Joe.
And Joe, wants to hear this song. Here it is. Have a great Halloween. We will see you tomorrow. Donna next back.
Happy Halloween. Be safe.